Don't do that.
I want
It's
people
gonna
to
scare everybody.
It's a little pranking on them. Getting ready. I like your Slimer / Slayer shirt.
This was the shirt I was gonna wear last night. It would have been perfect for like a metal show.
Yeah. Also, though, it was perfect for what you actually did last night.
Yeah. Well, I didn't puke on this shirt. I puked on my other shirt.
That's good.
There's a lot of things to puke on it. I had to do 2 extra loads of laundry, so that was $4.
I still can't. Okay. Or now that you're rational a little more, do you see how ridiculous it was?
No, I would have been fine.
Oh my gosh. You went to bed early and you slept until like 1 in the afternoon.
I went to bed at like 9.
And then you slept until 1.
Yeah.
We didn't get back till after midnight.
Eh.
Oh no, it would have been bad.
I wouldn't have thrown up.
I hope not.
I didn't throw up last night.
That's good, but you don't know. You didn't know.
I would have been fine.
Wow, it was good. It was good for you. If you barf 10 times, you have to stay home. That's the rule. You hit the 10 times. If you had said 9, I would have been okay.
I didn't know. It might not have been 10 times.
No, I'm just kidding.
It was like, so like I woke up in the middle of the night and I threw up like 3 times, and that was in the toilet.
Right.
And then in the morning, as soon as I woke up, I'm like, I'm going to throw up, and I just like leaned over, and that was like 4 times, and it was just everywhere.
Oh, so
Luckily,
sick.
I missed the Battle Royal poster. That would have been horrible. Because they're like right there on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
So then, they're in a frame. It's fine.
Swipe it down.
Well, I got some on one of the clerks too,
gosh,
but I wiped it off.
Anything
I wiped it off.
I'm not even gonna fiddle with the stuff tonight.
I didn't puke here.
I don't know. There could be puke everywhere.
No, I didn't get
Transferred.
I didn't transfer.
You didn't, track it around.
Didn't track it around. I'm not a slobbo.
I hope not. I'm just not touching it tonight. That's good. You should be happy. I won't fiddle.
And then I called. I left a voicemail because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the thing.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like sat out here just trying to see if it was gonna be okay. And then like it came back with a rage where it was like,
gosh.
And then I ran to the bathroom and it was like both ends.
Dude. And then you're like, because I glanced briefly, I saw your text like before we played.
That was at like 10. That was like 10 o'clock was the last time.
Yes, but
and then you called.
Cool, let's drive out to LA.
You called at like 2 or 3, and you're like, no. And I was like, it's been since 10. I'm fine.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
No, this should be on the show.
Because what if you'd gotten out to LA and had raging diarrhea? You do not want to go.
Yeah, I guess.
Where are you going to go in LA?
The whiskey bathrooms. That's like the train spotting bathroom.
That's like the train spotting bathroom.
I didn't have I seriously by like 12 o'clock I had nothing left to like. The only thing I did was pee.
Yeah, well, but imagine in the off chance that you still did, you would have had to go in the train spotting bathroom. Would you?
I've gone to bathrooms at punk clubs.
Yeah, it's the worst.
That's where you perfect the squat and you just get in and out.
You would have wanted to have to go both ends.
If I had to, I would have done it.
But wouldn't you have rather been here?
Yeah, but I wanted to go to that show.
I know. Well, don't worry, we were represented.
Well, you were paranoid that I was going to get you sick.
Well, that too. But you got a full 24 hours.
To the point where you were even like, you can go and I'll stay home.
Well, yes, I'm like, if you're going, I did not want to be barfed on.
So you're going to make me drive there. What if I had like died in a car crash?
That was what I was saying. I want you to go.
So you would have like...
Even tonight I was like, we could just do it remotely. But then I was like, no, just go. It's too much of a pain and you're fine. But
I'm
24
fine.
Hours, 24 hours I'll get.
I don't have a fever. You could bring a thermometer and take my temperature.
I believe it now. That is a lot of vomit.
It was because I ate a bunch of pizza. It was all pizza. It was
was the pizza that caused it?
Definitely.
Definitely pizza.
Because I didn't eat anything else.
Anything?
Oh, dude, it was definitely something because it went away.
So it wasn't. This was what, Pizza Hut? You said?
Yes.
Have you had Domino's that were giving you trouble before?
Domino's is giving me hard. They kept
your address.
Well, because something was wrong with their website. It It wasn't taking the apartment number or something. And so both times I ordered Domino's, like they wouldn't, they never came. And then I get a call. They're like, we can't find your. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking at the receipt right here, like the online receipt. Right. It has apartment. They're like, oh, that's not in our system. I'm like, well, you guys, I don't know what's wrong with your website, but I don't know what to do. So whatever, probably for the best. Shouldn't be ordering pizza.
Well, you still have Papa John's.
Yeah, I guess. Papa John's is expensive.
Yeah, but it's delicious.
And you do get a free pizza after you buy like 10 pizzas. Yeah. You have to buy like.
And you get that garlic sauce.
I think garlic sauce is good.
You know my like secret ingredient for spaghetti? Not all my spaghetti, but sometimes if we have leftover garlic sauce, I'll just toss one of those into the sauce. Oh, it's good.
That's just like garlic and like butter.
Yep.
And like just tons of butter.
Yep.
If you want to make that yourself, you just pour butter. You can text it.
Oh, Josh, about the recording on Thursday.
Thursday
at 9.
9 o'clock Thursday. And
he said it'll have to be short.
That's fine.
But you know, it'll be like a special episode.
Like Radio BrendoMan short, or like whose standards is short?
I don't know. I mean, I bet you could do like an hour.
If not, we could stretch it.
Yeah. That's cool. We'll make it work.
So yeah, I ate food today.
It's good.
Did
you at least like weigh in afterwards? That's like the best part of having a bar food bunch.
My scale's like buried in the closet.
Okay. I was like after I get sick.
I feel like I must have lost, like, because I didn't eat anything for like 24 hours.
Yeah. Plus you lost a lot of it.
And I threw up all that pizza. Wish I had the money back for the.
Yeah. Thing is, you can't.
Because it was pizza and breadsticks.
You can't like prove that that's what that was, because it could have been some other little thing. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
The only other thing I ate that day was leftovers from my dinner, and it was this one. It was like overnight, so I don't think they went bad.
What was that from?
I made like stir fry.
Oh, from that. Oh, what about? Did you have raw chicken?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have raw anything.
Well, I mean, like, was it originally raw before you cooked it?
I cooked some pork, but I cooked it, and I didn't get sick from that because I was fine. I ate it for dinner and was fine. And then I ate it for lunch, and then I ate the pizza, and then like a few hours after the pizza,
that was it.
That was when it all happened. So unless there was like a really long incubation period,
I don't know.
I don't know. So, but I can't stop like cooking for myself.
No, you shouldn't do that.
What if I like keep poisoning myself? Then I should probably get a meat tomorrow.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna.
No, I cooked it like really well. It was like it was cooked.
So we've had interesting like eats around the house because basically
while
when we leave on the trip, we're gonna defrost our freezer and fridge because it's all needs to be defrosted. So we got to eat everything out of there.
Your fridge is like a bizarro vortex of like food.
Our meals have been really creative and interesting lately. Because we got to eat what's left. We don't want to like go shopping.
You got like that giant tub of blue cheese.
Oh, we've been working on the blue cheese. There's all kinds of stuff in there.
You got like random leftovers.
Yep. Well, the leftovers are more or less cleared out now.
All kinds of random.
Quite a few frozen meals still left.
Sodas and juices.
Sodas are just about gone.
Yeah, and your freezer. You got all kinds of.
Freezer's got a lot of frozen meals, a lot of frozen veggies we've been eating. It's been interesting.
Audrey eating any more vegetables?
Here and there. It's an uphill.
Are you gonna try to get her to eat vegetables on the trip, or are you not want to deal with her causing a scene?
There's no,
at every.
I can either choose have a horrible time at Disney World, or just let it go for a week and pick it up where we left off. I'm going for choice B.
Maybe if you don't make a big deal about it and just like, maybe she'll just do it on her own.
We did find one thing that she would eat. Well, it's funny. Okay, so she'll eat corn. Mm-hmm. She doesn't like it, but we can bribe her to eat corn. There's one other little thing.
Well, the Brussels sprout, but that was...
Brussels sprouts, kind of. But Janelle did stir fry the other night, and they had baby corns in it, and she ate like a ton of baby corns, which it was really corn.
I don't think so.
It's
I
like
don't even
something
know what
different,
those
right?
are.
I don't know. Well, whatever it is, she ate a bunch of those.
Are those even like vegetables?
I don't know. What is baby corn?
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
I'll look it up.
No,
I
you
have
look it up.
a magical internet machine right here.
What is baby corn? Is it really
What
corn?
is baby corn? Baby corn is a cereal grain taken from corn harvested early while the stalks are very small. Okay.
Huh.
So it is corn.
It really is baby corn.
But is corn even really a vegetable?
I think it's more of a starch, but maybe the baby part is.
Well, it says plantae.
Well, it's a plant.
It's a large grain plant.
All right.
So corn is a grain.
But is the baby, like the baby part?
That's like the whole corn.
What's a different, like, stage, though? Because it said, like, you actually eat the cob, which in the adult one you can't eat.
This is like the dumbest thing we've ever talked about.
What is baby corn? I didn't think it was really corn.
It is.
I
It's
thought it
a
was just like a
baby
dumb
corn. Some other corn-like thing?
Yeah, like a plant that kind of looks like it that they, cooked up. So is there ever really baby, like, do they eat baby corns in China? Because that's where pretty much I ever have baby corn.
I never saw baby corns there, and the other thing I never saw is water chestnuts.
Really?
Those are just things that people put in things like these seem Asian. Because water chestnuts are gross.
I love water chestnuts.
They have no taste and that texture. I hate it.
I love it. It's like crunchy.
I hate it.
Mm.
Hate with a passion. And it's like the symbol of not real Chinese food.
That's how you know.
Yes.
Well, I guess baby corns are up there.
And look at all this.
That's a lot of information about corn. No, wait. This is maize. Is there a separate one for corn?
No, this is under maize.
Huh.
Corn redirects here.
Oh. Wow.
Known in some English-speaking countries as corn. That's so Spanish. So this is it.
That's it. That's the corn page.
It's a lot.
There's a lot of information about corn.
Look at all this. This is a well-researched article.
Corn in art. Saw that there. Well, anyway. At least she'll eat something that's grown on a plant.
Yeah. That's good.
So, yeah. Could be worse. Should we do it? Should we start?
Yeah. I'm just making sure I got everything.
Got it all set.
This guy said he had sent a... Don't worry about it. Hold on. Let me just... This guy had said he sent a thing. So I'm going to see if it's in there.
All right.
He said he sent a message to here not too long ago talking about you're playing the game Fireball Island. I don't see it on here.
Well, he said he's got an issue with downloading it.
Yeah. Which I don't know what his issue is because I tested it. But, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe it's in spam.
That could be.
No, I don't think so. Because I only think comments are moderated for spam, not the actual. Only comments.
Yeah, okay, not messages.
Yeah.
Cheap Christian Louboutin boots.
Prom dresses, evening dresses.
Nice. I have been looking for that.
Why have people? It's all on the prom dresses one is all about on like the. Maybe it was something I put in the tags on the interview with Lisa Graff. But they also put it on. Yeah, it's weird. They don't have any rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
It's nice though, because then I just do this.
Empty spam.
Boom.
Spam, 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 spam.
All right. Taking its time. There.
There it goes.
All right. You ready for this?
Ready. Let's do it. Yeah, dude.
Oops. Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And we are here Monday night. It's a Monday.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, except, you want to hear something funny?
I actually know about
this. Because of the storm, Monday Night Raw, the actual live event was canceled, so they showed 2 matches from the Royal Rumble and then did a bunch of interviews that they recorded in their studio. Huh. So a lot of the wrestlers were already in the area because they were in Philadelphia. So they went to the studios in Connecticut. I guess they just drove there and then recorded a bunch of pre-tape stuff.
But no new match.
No, and they're actually
first time in like
it's the first
time, right?
The last time they did this was after the Chris Benoit thing. Here's what was so horrible about the Chris Benoit thing. I just told you about this.
Right.
So Chris Benoit was a wrestler. He's probably one of the best wrestlers. To be honest, like, it's not something unless you are a crazy person, you brag about these days.
Right.
But he was my favorite wrestler. And then he killed his wife and son. And then he killed himself.
Yeah.
And it was pretty horrific. And so it happened on a Sunday because he didn't show up for the pay-per-view. He was actually supposed to wrestle CM Punk for the ECW championship. And then but the information was very slow in coming out. So at the time when they first found out about it, all they knew was Chris Benoit was dead.
Okay.
And his wife was dead and his kid was dead. Not that he had killed him.
Happened, right?
So the Monday, that's still what the public knew. So they aired a tribute show.
Oh, weird.
So it was all it was 2 hours of Chris Benoit matches and people recording tributes to him. Then the next day they found out what happened. So then Vince McMahon had to go back on and be like, this is the last time we're ever going to mention Chris Benoit. This is a horrific tragedy, and we're sorry to his family. And then Chris Benoit was basically removed from WWE history.
So, on the network, you can't go back and see that?
Now, that was what the big deal was about the network, because at the time they had something similar to the network, which was it was called WWE 24/7, and it was on some cable providers. It was an on-demand service, but it was really expensive, and I never even had a cable provider that offered it.
Right.
But they went back and took out every one of his matches, every mention of him. It's like he didn't exist, which is hard to do because it's not like this was some jobber. This guy was a WWE champion. He had just won, in 2004, he had won the Royal Rumble by going from number 1 to the last. He made it from number 1. To this day, they still say they'll say 2 people have done it, but they won't mention that one of them was him. So it'll be Shawn Michaels and Mr. McMahon, but Mr. McMahon actually entered at number 2. But they just kind of gloss over that. So they aired that show, and that was the last time that happened. And then they immediately had to backpedal. And it was also crazy because on the Monday Night Raw the week before that happened, they had done a whole storyline where Vince McMahon died. He blew, he got in a limo and the limo blew up. And so they immediately just canceled that storyline. So we never got to find out who killed Vince McMahon.
So now on the network, can you see
yes,
that explosion?
They put it back in
the tribute show?
No, none of those are on. Those ones will probably never air. But any pay-per-view, he's there. Some people think they went a little too far in putting everything back because there are storylines vignettes of him and because his wife was a valet. So there's you can go back and watch old Nitros where it's him and his wife and they're and that's weird. It's
that's
disturbing.
really weird. Yeah.
The other thing that's rough for him and like that whole situation, he had another son from like a previous marriage.
Uh-huh.
He wants to be a wrestler, but people,
that's tough.
some indies have like booked him, but I feel like WWE will never
They're not
touch.
gonna touch that.
Because what if it's because again, nobody knows why or what happened. Some people think it might have been some weird genetic thing, and what if it's a genetic thing or some crazy thing? Because the main argument that people always say that Chris Benoit, yes, he did this, but it's not entirely his fault. This is such a weird thing they were talking about, but whatever. Is that he had post-concussion syndrome, that because of multiple concussions, he never protected his head when he took a chair shot. And that's the other thing. You watch these pay-per-views, so then going back and knowing this, and you're watching these pay-per-views of Chris Benoit getting hit in the head all the time, and then you're just like, this is weird to watch. So some of the theories are that he had like the brain of like a 90-year-old man, that it was roid rage. I still don't know if I buy that, because my grandpa's 80. I don't see him killing people.
Right.
Where do you get that jump from he has the brain of a 90-year-old man to he kills in a ritual fashion his wife and his son? Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't see that. I was just reading about, there's this guy that they're trying to execute who has the IQ of 70, and again, maybe they shouldn't like execute him, but like some people are like he shouldn't even be in jail, and I'm like, there are a lot of people that have an IQ below 70, but they're not. If we accept that like IQ below 70, it's okay to kill people, and that's a normal thing for. Like, where are all the dumb people on murder sprees?
Right.
Like, I just don't see that jump where it's like, this person has an IQ below a 70. Oh, well, then that means it's okay that he killed someone. Because that's a normal thing for people.
Whether or not what they should do with them maybe is another question, but
the fact that, like, then I'm really,
probably
like,
not running free, I would think.
Because, like, I don't know, like, a lot of people have an IQ below 70.
I would think so.
And you don't see all these developmentally challenged people killing everybody.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's how the brain works.
It sounds like the Twinkie insanity verdict to me.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, Raw, there was no Raw tonight, so I was watching Storage Wars.
That's right.
And I was watching some Comedy Bang Bang. But we had a week.
Yeah.
We found a new like hiking area. It's really awesome.
Really cool exploration.
Some really cool Ukaipa hiking.
They look like hills from the distance, but I mean we were up in like some mountains up there. Like, it's pretty cool. There's like cliffs.
And then I got violently ill on Sunday.
Yep.
And haven't puked in over 24 hours.
But that did affect some things, which I guess we'll talk about.
Yeah.
We'll get down to that.
So everything else good with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been
getting ready for your next vacation.
The big trip. I mean, it's coming up quick here. You'll hear from me.
And how are you getting ready for your big vacation? You're going to Disneyland tomorrow?
Well, Peter Pan's going to be taken away from us as we know it. So
Peter Pan is overrated.
But still, it's something that's...
It's the most overrated ride at Disneyland next to Autopia.
Oh, Autopia is the most. But see, Autopia is great.
Autopia is great if you are 5 and you cannot drive.
Right.
The moment you can drive a car, Autopia is done. Because that line is always like an hour. It's always longer than it says. Even the Fast Pass line, you're still looking at like it doesn't help. That line is crazy. That the other one with the deceptively long line, but at least it's a cool line.
I know exactly.
Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin.
Yep.
But still,
at least it's fun to wait in that line.
And that one, at least the Fast Pass does something.
A lot. And it's a cool ride.
It is a cool ride. But I still think Peter Pan, you're looking at minimum 45 minutes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's the ride is seriously 1 minute.
It's the shortest of all the dark rides.
Yeah.
In Fantasyland.
I mean, I guess it's cool.
It is cool. I don't ever wait for it.
The thing that bums me out, because I told you about this, I had a dream where there was like a Haunted Mansion type ride with like a Peter Pan type ride system, but like a faster version. I still think they could have. Why didn't they use that ride system on more rides? I guess because maybe one of the reasons it doesn't load because the Omni Mover. That thing, that's like a sucks people. Whereas,
but the other
it doesn't go as
fast. Ones aren't Omni Movers though.
Yeah, but they're similar. I think maybe I don't know.
They're smaller though because you can only fit 3 people in the Peter Pan one.
And I don't think they load as faster because I think that's one of the reasons. There's got to be the reason why that line is so long. Yeah. Is because otherwise it's the shortest ride. It shouldn't be that. There's got to be a capacity issue there. Yeah. Because like with those other rides, you're pretty much constantly moving. Right. But with the Peter Pan, I know they have to stop them, and like they're not. It's not as constant.
Right. It is a good ride though.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to take it away from us.
It's probably going to be pretty much the same.
No, you haven't seen what they did to Alice in Wonderland still.
I never really cared about Alice in Wonderland that much.
I love Alice in Wonderland.
I mean, it's cool. The double-decker, the 2 stories.
Yeah. And they changed that, so now you have like the big old concrete thing you go out onto. You used to go out on the little leaf path. Mm-hmm. Now it's just like a big floor. Mm-hmm. So that's
Why do you think they did that?
It's possible structurally it might have been important. I don't know, but the biggest bummer is I love the way that they projected the little hedgehogs, and the croquet thing, and they took that out and did like a super fancy new projection and. Just looks cheap.
How dare they modernize?
I don't like it.
They take that technology because when did Alice open up? 82.
Yeah, it was
because it was a new Fantasyland.
Yeah.
I was there. That might be my early. I have to go and look at the dates. But the new Fantasyland opening might be my earliest memory.
Really?
Because we were there, I don't think it was the opening day, but it was definitely right when it, because I remember my dad would be like, oh, wow, they changed everything. And he was kind of upset about it. Right. But then at first he was upset because, he'd been going to the park since it opened.
Right.
But then he's like, the new architecture, he's like, I guess because the old one kind of looked like a fair. It looked very
pretty, chintzy
plain.
Looking,
and so he came to appreciate the architecture, but I just remember my dad was a little bit upset, but it was also really cool, and I remember people were making a big deal about it, and there was like a rush, because we were there at like rope drop, and it was like a big deal. I don't know if that's my first memory, or if Return to the Jedi, because I clearly remember Return to the Jedi, vividly, and I was 3, but I think the Fantasyland I was 2. Can you remember something from when you're 2?
I don't know. See, I remember going to Fantasyland soon after it opened and Return of the Jedi, but I'm older than you.
Only like a year. Well, a year and a half.
What, because you were born in what?
80.
Yeah, I was 78, but
So like a year and a half. But still, so I don't know if you can remember something when we were 2, but I feel like I remember that.
Probably. I don't know.
And I also remember, I remember that trip because it also was the one where the Pinocchio ride stopped right when the Stromboli the cage
thing.
And I lost and I did not go on that ride again for 15 years.
That was your carnival experience.
I lost my mind because it just shut down right when he's like, and now you stay here forever.
We are staying here.
And it's dark and it's loud and I remember my mom was flipping out because there was some loud noises in the ride, when they go through. And my mom cannot deal with loud noises. That's her phobia. Because apparently, when my mom was little, her brothers or her older sister put firecrackers underneath something with firecrackers, and it was horrible. So she can't. I remember we would go to Red Robin, and we had to sit as far away from the balloon thing as possible. Fireworks shows, forget about it.
Popping.
That's why it was either a blessing or a curse. When we went to Disneyland, we'd have to, if we weren't staying there, we always had to leave early, so that sucked.
Oh man.
Or she would go somewhere but most of the time we had to leave early.
She didn't want to be there.
But when we went to Florida, where she could like stay at the hotel. That meant my brother and I got like evenings where we just got to go and do whatever we wanted. Because there were so many fireworks shows in Florida that she just couldn't even be out there. Like, because
cool.
like each park has their own fireworks thing,
yeah.
and they're all at different times. So like by 7 o'clock, my mom's like, I'm done. So, but she wasn't gonna force my brother and I. And like since it's all a contained property, which yeah. So my brother and I, we would just go around. Cool. Once we figured out that bus system.
Oh yeah.
We went around that whole resort. I remember very clearly. My brother and I went to the Disney Marketplace, which was like pre. Is it still there? 'Cause
I feel like it might be. I don't know.
Well, it was before Downtown Disney, and there was a Goofy's Kitchen there, and you could basically get as big of a burger as you wanted, and he got a 1-pound burger, and then like I seriously thought he was gonna puke, like, because I was 13, so he was 11.
That's a big burger.
11-year-old, but my brother has always been like he can eat more than anybody I know.
It's that skinny guy high metabolism thing.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
No.
Never had that.
My favorite story of him, though, is when we were at camp, they always had a big thing where like it was like, eat all you want, but take all you want, but eat all you take.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to put it to the test. Because they'd like make sure that you ate everything. And he got 12 pieces of French toast. He did it.
He ate them all?
Yeah. And like it got to the end, and the guy was like watching him, and he's like,
Eat it.
That's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
All right. Well, we got some reader mail.
Let's do reader mail.
People keep giving us a hard time about reader mail, and it's just.
I love it. That's our thing.
It's our thing.
That's what we do. Because that's how we started it. It's reader mail. We read it. We're readers. And it's our mail that we got.
Yep. All right. Well, Steve Espinoza writes, "Hey guys, first let me say it was great hanging out with you at Arcade Expo.
Definitely.
Had lots of fun. I know you said you guys were going again in October, and we might get performance from the BrendoMan All-Stars. You think the organizers let you use the main stage or the theater room to hold a live radio BrendoMan?"
I plan to ask for that.
That's a good idea,
yes.
Definitely. Also, I know Brendo has jumped into the video game playing via YouTube scene, but I was wondering if either of you would get into the scene of live reaction videos. I think a lot of people, apparently I think a lot of people would enjoy watching episodes of your favorite shows, new movie trailers, or even wrestling pay-per-views. I myself enjoy watching Doctor Who, Walking Dead, and pay-per-view live reactions, and have a few favorite channels for each show. See, so like that's a thing.
That's cool.
We should definitely.
But like, does it have to be specific things like that?
Well,
is someone gonna want to watch me watch Comedy Bang Bang or Bob's Burgers? Actually, Bob's Burgers would probably be our thing.
Yeah. But we could also, I don't know. I think it would be fun to get you to watch some wrestling shows.
I would do that.
But we could. I think both of you could get a lot of views for your reactions or like new trailers. I don't know.
That's cool.
If you read this before Royal Rumble, I suggest you start there. Oh well, it was yesterday. You would have gotten a lot of reactions out of me because I'm not as the internet apparently is very upset.
Even I saw that and I wasn't looking for it.
But I think. I don't want to get into it too much because Benson and I are going to do an MBWS.
Yeah.
MBWS is coming back because we're on the road to WrestleMania, and Benson and I are going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, you guys got to get this going.
So we really got to get it going. But basically the big thing that people were upset about is they had Daniel Bryan come back. It was a big deal. He'd been out for 9 months.
Okay.
Since he won the title at WrestleMania 30, and then they stripped him of the title. And a lot of people question that because... like, they stripped him because he didn't defend the title for 30 days.
Okay.
But Brock Lesnar has gone, like, 60 days without defending the title.
To do, like, every 30 days?
Well, according to WWE rules. Okay. But he's gone, like, more than... But my counter-argument to that is Brock Lesnar was not legitimately injured. Daniel Bryan clearly was legitimately injured. They didn't even know up until recently if he was going to be able to wrestle again.
Oh, wow.
So that's how bad it was. But now that he's back, and then he goes in the Royal Rumble, barely does anything, and then nonchalantly gets eliminated like it wasn't even a big deal. And that's the thing. Like, if they had even made the effort to where it was like, because you can make it like really dramatic and build it up to like, that's the excitement of the Royal Rumble is, yes, anybody can get eliminated. There is no clear winner. But you at least got to like build it up that way. But no, they just had like 2 guys just dumped him out. And like, that was it. And then it was like, well, that sucks. And it was crazy, though, because they had the triple threat title match, which, even though it's only January, probably going to be match of the year. It was the best pay-per-view match WWE has put on in a long time.
Okay.
Then they have this Royal Rumble, and so the crowd in Philadelphia, they're a very discerning crowd. This isn't like the South or somewhere where people they're just happy to be there.
Right.
They're just getting into watching wrestling. They're just having a fun time. I can have fun at any rate, but like these Philadelphia people, they grew up with ECW, and like again, they're very smart.
Right.
To the business.
They're wise. So
as soon as Daniel Bryan gets eliminated, they just start booing everything. Everything. Like Roman Reigns, because everybody, I don't know, before Daniel Bryan came back, everybody knew Roman Reigns was going to win the Royal Rumble. So I don't know why people should not be surprised that Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, because everybody had knew that was going to be the plan.
Right.
But when they brought Daniel Bryan back, I'm like, well, maybe hopefully Daniel Bryan will win. But that didn't happen. So then I'm like, well, Roman Reigns is going to win and whatever. But everybody else just lost their freaking minds. But the Philadelphia, watching it's at least worth watching that show to watch a crowd turn completely 180 on a show. Like, it's every promoter's worst nightmare, and they're just booing everything. And you got your top guys coming out, and they're getting booed to the point where when Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, and they sent The Rock out. The Rock, who is not...
The Rock.
He hasn't been around for a long time, and he comes out to save Roman Reigns from getting beat up, and The Rock gets booed. That's when you know you have officially, like, screwed up, and you shouldn't be... And the thing that's crazy is this is exactly what happened last year at the Royal Rumble, when they didn't even... Daniel Bryan, everybody assumed that Daniel Bryan was going to be in the Rumble, and he was there, and then they didn't have him come out, and then Batista won, and again, the crowd just turned and booed everything. So the thing is, it's crazy, is this exact thing happened last year. If you, going into this show, knowing Vince McMahon is not stupid.
So why did he do that again?
Because he's an arrogant person, and he's like, you will like who I tell you to like, and I know what's best.
Well,
I don't think he knows what's best.
All I know is that not particularly looking for wrestling
stuff,
I saw
the internet
all over the place.
Was going crazy.
All right.
The internet was going
Even
crazy.
The pastor at
there was
church
a whole
yesterday was talking about it.
There was a whole like cancel WWE Network hashtag was still trending on Twitter today. I think that's a crazy overreaction.
Yeah.
Because it was a bad match. I think as last year I think if history repeats itself, somebody up top will realize that they're making a bad decision and insert Daniel Bryan into the title match. Even if that doesn't happen, I'm still okay with it, because whatever. Roman, like, it's fine.
But canceling the network is punishing themselves, though. That's saying, no, don't give us 30 years plus of all the stuff
because they think they're punishing WWE. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. And also, like, I don't know. I wouldn't. There's too much other stuff. Plus, right before the Royal Rumble match, they put on what anybody, even the most discerning person, would agree, potential match of the year candidate. But because this one thing, and they did it, like, it's over. And that's how wrestling fans are the most fickle. Like they can be very loyal, but they also will turn on a freaking dime. So, I don't know. I have a vested stake in this, because I have already purchased my wrestler. Would I have liked to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar 1-on-1? Right. Absolutely. Am I fine with Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar? I think it'll be fine. I don't know. I'm excited just being there. It's going to be fun.
Oh, sure.
Also, Sting's going to wrestle, and that's my most excited thing. Because I already got to see Daniel Bryan win the championship at the Superdome. I was there. So I'm just excited to go. There's lots of other cool stuff. And also, Benson and I are going to go to a bunch of other wrestling shows. Although I'm starting to plan out our trip. I don't think we're going to be able to beat last year's record.
No.
There's just not as many shows, and they scared him off too much. And then also this year, because we could pull it off if the venues were closer together.
Right.
But because of the nature of the Bay Area and because the indies got spread out to like random places, there's some events where when I was in New Orleans, I could literally like walk around to the different places,
Right.
or it was like a 10-minute drive at most. We're talking like some of these are places are an hour apart, and you're dealing with Bay Area traffic. So
you're renting a car?
We're driving out there.
Okay.
But it's just we're not gonna like if there's one where it's like this show ends at 4, the next show is at 5. We're probably not gonna make it. Plus, with some of these indie shows, it's like an indie concert. Sometimes they go they never start on time, and sometimes they go really long, which is one of the benefits of going to an indie wrestling show. Like I've gone to indie wrestling shows that were 4 hours and they were amazing. like I've never gone to a WWE show that went an hour over the advertised time. That's the benefit of going to these indie shows. But again, they're so spread apart that I'm not, because like with New Orleans, it was in like seriously like everything was in like a 20-mile radius. Right. Now we're dealing with like some are in San Jose, some are in Santa Clara, some are in this other part.
And just driving around in San Francisco is the worst.
It's gonna suck. But some of these places I already investigated. Most of them are out of the way. The only time we're probably going to have to pay for parking is WrestleMania itself.
That's to be expected.
Although maybe Mike will know some tricks because he actually lives. We have the inside. There. Maybe we can take public transportation, or he'll know some place to park.
Big Bart.
Yeah, but the thing is, Bart is good if you're going to San Francisco and some of the immediate areas. But like this is like the outer. Like, this is mostly San Jose, Santa Clara.
Gotcha.
So, like, the BART isn't as... Like, I was looking at one, like, as I was doing Google, like, if I took the BART, it would take 2 hours to get to this one place. Right. If I drove, it would take 30 minutes. So, I'm like, I think we're going to be driving to this place.
Plus, whenever you have, like, a train-type situation, you got, potential delays and whatnot.
If we got train delay and trying to go to WrestleMania,
how bad would that be?
Well, I don't know, but at the very least, we'll be able to carpool to WrestleMania, so
that's good.
Because I'm going. It's just so funny. I was thinking about like, if you had told me 20 years ago that I'd be going to WrestleMania 31 with Mike and Sherry, like, it's cool and also weird.
Also very surreal.
It's cool, but I'm excited, but it's just funny. And WrestleMania next year is it's at the Cowboys Stadium in Dallas, so looks like might be taking a trip to Dallas.
Dallas, huh?
So
sweet.
Yeah. All right. That's a lot of wrestling talk. So thank you, Steve, for that.
We finished.
No, you did. Oh.
No, you didn't even finish. That was a detour in the middle of his letter there.
If you read this for Rumble, you start there. You got to be careful when it comes to copywritten content, so the video isn't taken down. I already gotten burned on that for music that was in one of the video games, so I had to turn off music. Yeah, because YouTube, they can automatically detect like music and stuff. It was in the actually WWE 2K15.
Oh, okay.
They didn't make you take it down. You just couldn't monetize the video. But YouTube actually has software now where you can remove the songs.
Huh. That's cool.
But if we're doing reactions, I mean, we could do it so you can't.
You just can't hear it.
Yeah. Like if we were wearing headphones.
Right.
And of course, don't forget to have Radio BrendoMan or BrendoMan.com sign and view the camera.
Of course.
Anyways, that's just a suggestion. Keep up the good work. I think that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, that's cool. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Thanks again for hanging out, too.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was cool.
Super fun. I guess they are doing something, because I was just reading on Facebook, they had a pinball tournament at the Pinball Museum.
Oh, okay. So just not open to the general public.
Yeah. That's the dream. But I still think if that thing was open, it would be awesome. It would also be like...
Where's Brendan? Can't find him. Oh, arcade place.
Because they're going to have some kind of annual pass option.
Oh, yeah.
And I would definitely...
Oh, yeah.
Because having 800 plus video game machines total 20 minutes away from my house.
Yeah. I still have an awesome callus from that the spinner thing on that one game.
What was the game called?
It was called Pepper 2.
Okay, because I was going to look this up in that arcade.
Pepper 2 was amazing. And it's got like the little... It's not a rolling track. It's like the spinning wheel, I'm trying to think of another game that has that. Anyway, it was.
Well, wasn't it it was like an Arkanoid type.
Yeah, like Arkanoid. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, look at this. They have that Three Stooges game.
Oh yeah.
They got a lot of these games, but let's just see. I want to search it.
See if it's on there. Pepper 2.
Okay, I don't know. That's.
I guess
that's like searching everything.
Yeah.
How do I search the Internet Arcade?
There's a lot of stuff on there. I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Qbert. Pitfall. There it is.
There it is.
You could play this. Oh, dude, did I just ruin your life?
Oh my gosh, was there a 1? Was there just a Pepper?
Oh yeah, so there was no predecessor.
Oh, okay.
You can play this like anytime you want.
You know what? Why don't you just keep talking? Load this up. I'll be fine here.
Okay, well, I just want to read this because like we didn't really know a lot about this game. Like you had never seen this game.
I'd never seen it.
That's what's crazy about this video game is they have video games like they had like some of those like they had ones like the most controversial. They had a chiller. I didn't even know that was. I saw that, like I read about it, but I didn't believe it was a real thing until I saw it with my own eyes.
Just as controversial as you thought it would be. It's pretty messed up.
But they had and then all these old these ancient games.
If I haven't seen it and you haven't seen it, you know it's obscure because I spent a lot of time on arcades.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in arcades as children.
Yeah,
because I can understand but especially as kids because they were everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean that was back in the day where there were arcade machines inside 7-Eleven,
right,
and other stuff. But now you don't have that.
So
okay, so
what does it say about Pepper 2?
Pepper 2 is an arcade game programmed by Exidy and published in 1982, and despite its name, there was no predecessor named Pepper or Pepper 1. Its gameplay is similar to the game Amadar.
Interesting.
Have you heard of that game?
Never heard of that either.
There are 4 mazes per level in Pepper 2. Each maze has exits leading to 3 other mazes. All 4 mazes must be filled to advance to the next level.
I only filled 3 with my best game.
And that's just 1 level.
But I was on the top. I'm not the number 1, but I was in the top 10.
This is a pretty crazy game. To fill in a maze, the player maneuvers Pepper around different segments of the maze. As Pepper travels, he leaves a zipper. Once he encloses or zips a segment, it fills in and points are awarded. If Pepper backtracks on an uncompleted segment, it unzips. So you're zipping it up.
Right.
The character Pepper is an angel. There are 2 types of enemies that must be avoided: roaming eyes and the whippersnapper, who unzips all uncompleted zip segments by moving over them. Remember you complaining about that guy.
That's the one that comes in if you're on any one screen for too long.
Pepper's one defense is to enclose in an area containing a pitchfork energizer, which turns him into a devil for approximately 4 seconds.
And that's the equivalent of
it's a power pellet. At that time, you can go after all roaming eyes for points. At the same time, the whippersnapper freezes. There are 4 pitchforks in the corners of every maze. A deluxe energizer is located in the center of the maze. This energizer alternates between being a pitchfork and a halo symbol. If Pepper encloses the middle area when the energizer is a halo, the whippersnapper will disappear
All right.
from the maze. Points are awarded for enclosing a segment, consuming a pair of roaming eyes when energized by the pitchfork, similar to Pac-Man, obtaining prizes, completing a maze, and completing 4 mazes. A bonus turn is awarded at 40,000, 50,000, 70,000, or 90,000 points. Did you get that high?
I don't remember. I have pictures. I could go back and look.
Each maze also contains a prize in one of the segments. The player must enclose its area to gain the prize and points, and then the prize is shown beneath the maze.
That's kind of like the fruit in the Pac-Man.
Yeah.
But it is very different gameplay, though.
This guy's saying he had it on ColecoVision.
Wow.
It
was a great game. Well, now I know it's there. I might.
Look at all this, dude.
That's dangerous. There's a lot of games on there.
I mean, this is
Archive.org, man. Got Tapper.
They got everything. Tubin.
Wow. They got Tron. So much good stuff.
Violence Fight.
Violence Fight. There's a game called Violence.
WWF Superstars, right there.
That's awesome. I want to play Violence Fight. Have you seen? What is it? The Kickstarter for that Kung Fu movie, but it's called Kung. What is it? Kung Fury. Have you watched the trailer for Kung Fury?
No.
Oh my gosh. All right, I don't know. We probably shouldn't do it on the show, but you guys need to watch the trailer for Kung Fury. It was a Kickstarter that was funded, and the movie's coming out. I think they said in March, and it'll be free on YouTube. We have to watch it. It looks incredible.
Ooh, they got wrestle. Oh, dude.
Now you're looking through. Now you're clicking around, reading about wrestling.
I remember this. This came out on the Mega Drive. Never came out on US.
Wrestle War.
Yeah, but when there was this place in Solana Beach called High Tech Only. It was for like rich kids, and they rented like foreign, and we rented a Genesis that had a Mega Drive adapter, and I got Wrestle War. It was awesome, but it never came out in America. It came out like later, and like one of their like for like PC,
yeah.
But it never came out on the Genesis. And then we also rented a Neo Geo.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna have one of those to play.
Because that was like $800, and the games are like $200.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know anyone.
I don't know anybody that owned it.
I had some rich friends when I was a kid.
I did too, because we had the rich friend that he was like his dad. At the time, I thought it didn't make any sense, but it turned out what his dad did was his dad owned a ton of parking lots in downtown San Diego.
Oh, well, I can tell
so you can
right
just
now.
imagine. As a kid, I didn't understand. I'm like, what, parking lots? Then, like, think about Comic-Con and, like, each space.
$10 for parking last night at the show.
Yeah.
Because where else are you going to park? What are you going to do?
Yeah. So his dad owned parking lots.
And what do they have to do? Just have
Dude,
pavement.
that dude, that's the other thing I didn't understand. His dad was always at home hanging out. And so I'm like, what? This guy, who is this guy?
All they have to do is own a segment of land that has pavement, maybe not even pavement, and have someone collect money or a machine.
Yeah. So they were super rich, and he had all the systems, and he got them like right away. So like he had the Super Nintendo, he had the Genesis, and like he had all the games, he had all the good toys. We're talking like the USS Flag, the spaceship. Well, I had Castle Grayskull.
I never had Castle Grayskull.
That's like the big. I think there was a period where we were doing pretty well, or also my parents just kind of spoiled us.
Right.
Because I had Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain.
You had Snake Mountain?
Yeah. I had both.
Because, like, if you were a kid and you only got to pick one, you were going to pick Castle Grayskull.
Yeah. But Snake Mountain had the cool microphone.
Yeah.
And we had the slime pit, but the slime pit was like a little.
I had a slime pit.
But
I did know not to put.
See, we put Mossman in because it's on the box.
Yeah.
Mossman is in there on the box.
It's not recommended.
Yeah, we ruined Mossman.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. So
you'd think after they did it for the picture, then they would be like,
well, the picture's like a painting.
Oh, it's not like an actual stage photo. Well,
that's why they didn't even think about it.
That's true.
But then, of course, what's the first thing a kid's gonna do? I'm like, I want to like plus Mossman. It just
it's cool.
I don't know, it's cool.
That and my other favorite. What's the guy that you can see through and like you would move it and you could see the gears moving?
Oh yeah, that Robo guy.
Yeah.
Like Robo something.
Plus, I had battle damage, Man of War.
I had that dude with like the neck that came out, like the long leg. That guy. I had
battle damage was the best where you punch.
Oh, dude, I had battle damage Skeletor and battle damage He-Man. Yeah. Those were cool. I had like 3 different Skeletors.
I think it's funny that battle damage was a thing. Like, do they do that anymore? Can you get toys that do battle damage?
I don't know. Probably.
Because that was huge. Like, if you could do battle damage on them.
Yeah.
Because then you could like really fight them.
Yeah. And then I had the classics, and then Orko was cool because he had the pole tie, he had the pole on, and he would zip around. So I had Orko, except we eventually lost that thing, and then he just kind of
don't have anything.
Yeah. But yeah, I had so many He-Mans, but G.I. Joe was like a big deal. So my friends, he was my brother's age, but I would just come over.
I'll be friends.
I'm like, yeah, sure. So, because like again, he had the freaking flag, which if anybody doesn't know, that's like in real life it was 6 feet long.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe aircraft carrier.
When we were up in in Canada, we went to a comic shop that had one like hanging on the wall. I mean, it's a thing of glory.
Yeah. And as I think it was either Topless Robot or one of those other guys said if you had the general flag, you were either a liar or you were filthy rich. Because I'm pretty sure that thing retailed for like $200.
Oh yeah, $200 in like '80s money.
Yeah, which that's more than a Nintendo.
Right.
And then just below the flag there was the rocket ship.
Right.
And then you had things like, because then you had like that one where it was like the mobile fortress, and it was like called Fortress America or something, where it was Battle Force 2000, I think it was called, where it was a bunch of vehicles, and if you put it together, then it was a giant fortress. So I remember one year my mom got me one of those, but then she realized that we would have to get all the others. So she's like, we're not getting any more of those.
It's not happening.
Then there was the Cobra base, which was like in the $80 range, and I knew a couple kids that had that because it was smaller, but it was still pretty awesome. It was like a big round thing because it was supposed to be like on an island.
So did that kid have the Coleco?
He had everything. He had Coleco.
Wow.
He had Genesis. He had and even he didn't have a Neo Geo, but he was how he found out about the place that rented Neo Geos because he would rent it from there.
That's funny.
But I remember he had like, and then the other thing that made him like, we knew he was super rich, was he got all the wrestling pay-per-views. My parents, as big of a wrestling fan as I am, my parents never, from age 5 to 18, the whole time I was a huge wrestling fan, never let me order a wrestling pay-per-view. Never. And I think my dad took me somewhere to watch.
Like at a restaurant.
Well, there was a closed circuit to watch WrestleMania 2, and then WrestleMania 3 was the first actual pay-per-view. And my dad, we went somewhere to watch it. I think it was like a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Might have been a friend's house, but I just remember. I remember watching that Hogan and Andre match live. And then the other time, like in high school, I went to friends' houses, and then Mike started getting them, and we would all watch them. But even that, we never. But he would get like even the minor ones, like the small pay-per-views. Like Mike would only get like the big 4 pay-per-views, which is Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. But this guy got them all. We would go to his house, and he had them all on tape, and so he was like the cool kid.
That's cool.
And they had a pool.
And a pool?
Yeah.
I had a couple friends. They didn't have that much stuff, but they had my one friend, my rich friend.
Mm-hmm.
He had a Lego loft. Like he had a loft built in his playroom because he had a playroom
with a loft.
With a loft, and you climb up in the loft, and there were just thousands upon thousands of Legos up there. Everything. We would just spend hours up there. Hey, what's up? Brian's here.
Well, Internet Arcade. I know where Phil's going
after. Be dangerous. Yeah, we got to end this show pretty quick here. I got some stuff I got to go do.
Look at all this stuff.
Real important things.
I want to play the violence fight.
Violence fight.
Oh, look at this. Oh, dude, it looks awesome. It looks like it's a 1989 fighting arcade game by Taito.
Definitely is a translation from Japanese violence fight.
Oh, it's like Double Dragon.
That's funny.
All right. Well, next piece of mail here. We got
letter.
Craig from the Res. Hey guys, halfway through the new one. I know when I email Popsicles and Derek because I'm usually trolling. I reference other stuff that only one of you would get, like the Summa is a beast, which Benson would have got right off, but he had technical difficulties.
All right.
Oh, and your shirts do suck. Mine wore out super quick. Didn't want to disappoint. Let's do a Teespring or something. So I looked into Teespring.
Okay.
Minimum order 5 shirts. We can do like nice American apparel, $17.
Ugh.
What?
The ones that we got were a third of that price.
Yeah, but if we just get people to order, people will pay that much.
Well, but then you have to ship it to us, and then
they no, they do all the shipping.
Do individual shipping. Okay, yeah. Well then that could work then. So as long as people are up for that. Well, we'll in our next thing here, we'll definitely be doing a different company. We'll
Well, we could just do a Teespring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could do that without doing like a Kickstarter or whatever.
No, it's like Kickstarter.
Is it
but
only
for
one design?
It's only one. You can only have one design.
But you can upload your own design though.
Yeah, but you can have multiple styles. So if someone wants, there's cheaper version of the shirt. There's like a $15 one, and if we do more, the shirts are cheaper.
Right.
Like if we set it to minimum 10, it's cheaper, and it goes from there. But 5 is the lowest, and then that was the max. So we could.
All right.
I don't know.
We'll definitely do that.
We need to like gauge some interest.
How do we gauge that? I mean, people write in if they're interested.
Yeah, write in. We could do a Facebook poll.
Yeah,
let's just have people write in.
Write in. Just mention if you'd be interested.
You want a shirt?
And I mean, basically, if we do the Teespring, it's just the cost, right? Like.
We're not gonna make any money.
Right. So
you can if you
whatever
want.
No. I think we should just do it and let people.
If people want shirts, let them have shirts, and we could just. I mean, we could, but we could just keep that going.
Because I guess if they ship directly to them, it'll wind up being about what they paid for.
Yeah.
From the Kickstarter one.
Yeah.
Except you don't get all the other little Kickstarter things, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because the shirt's better. I mean, we apologize about the shirts. I don't know if anyone else had issues with them. Mine's still fine, but we'll definitely do a different one now. And so write us in about that.
All right. Well, that's Craig. Thank you. All right, now we got Denver.
Denver, the last dinosaur?
Maybe. Denver, the last dinosaur. He's my friend and a whole lot more.
Yeah.
That was on with like Flintstone kids.
Yeah.
Flintstone kids, yabba dabba doo.
That always messes me up because then I think of we are Flintstone kids, something fun and growing. Because that was like the
Flintstone kids. But then like we're the BEDROCK, the bedrock Flintstone kids.
What was that little like magic guy that was in that?
Well, that Great Kazoo was actually in Flintstones.
That was in the original, but I thought there was a different guy in there.
Maybe they had a different. I feel like all those shows.
Yeah, they had to have like
a magic guy because we just watched the Funky Brewster cartoon like Glomer.
Yeah, you had to have like an additional magic something or other.
All right. Well, he says I sent a message to here not too long ago talking about you're playing the game Fireball Island. I actually looked for it, so I'm not sure what happened to it. I can't find it, so I apologize. He says for some reason that episode won't download. I'll have to double check that, but I just looked and it's working, so maybe I don't know.
Maybe try again.
Or try going straight. If you're having trouble with an episode, just search for it on archive.org because that's where the files.
Posted, right?
So if you go to archive.org and just type in that you'll find it, or just go to our Radio BrendoMan and we have an actual page on archive.org and it has all the episodes listed there. And as far as I know, they all work. There might have been, because there has been a couple times where if the Internet Archive is down, but they very rarely goes down.
Right.
So I hope.
So hopefully just try it again then.
You do have another game that we need to play.
I do, yeah. From the same makers of, obviously.
I didn't even know this game existed.
What is it called?
The Curious Bridge or something? Or
Forbidden
Bridge?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
which I'd never even seen before.
Yeah, my brother Matthew found it at a thrift store. I think he picked it up for like a couple bucks.
Yeah.
So we got to try that sometime.
Speaking of Fireball Island, it's still worth crazy money.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was fun. Couldn't see myself. I feel like if I had paid like $100 for it.
I played it a ton as a kid. Like every time we had a chance to do board games, I'm like Fireball Island, do Fireball Island. So
I liked it.
It's cool.
It's frustrating at times.
Well, it can be. It's definitely one where, like, if you have bad luck, you can be stuck at the beginning the whole time, just get knocked back. So, but it's cool.
Like any of those big games, I guess because they're hard to find with all the pieces.
Yeah, because even mine has a couple little,
And same thing with like finding like a working torpedo run. Like, forget about it.
I wonder, because my brother had torpedo run and Crossfire. I wonder what ever happened to those.
Crossfire should still be fine.
Crossfire.
Well, everybody remembers that. You'll get caught up in the crossfire. Crossfire. It was like super metal.
Yeah, totally. Oh, dude. I mean, but when you saw that commercial, we have to get that.
Yeah.
We have to own that game.
I remember, like, we got
caught up in it.
We got Crossfire and Torpedo Run the same Christmas.
I feel like maybe my brother did too.
Because those all came out. Like, those were like Milton Bradley's big push.
Yeah.
Like, board games were at an all-time high.
Yep.
Because like Battleship had run its course.
Yeah, that was like the new, like, this is not your grandpa's Battleship.
Yeah, because like Torpedo Run, like, you're actually shooting.
You shoot the thing and then they pop up.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It was awesome. I love that game.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had a giant room. Like, because we lived in this... My parents bought this condo while we were waiting to buy a real house.
Right.
And it had, like, two... Instead of, like, some houses, you have, like, a small bedroom and then, like, a master bedroom. This had, like, two gigantic master bedrooms. My parents had one and we had the other. So this was, like, a giant master suite.
Cool.
Where, like, so my brothers... Our beds were, like... They were, like... There was, like, 20 feet between our beds, and, like, we had, like, a giant room.
That's cool.
And so it was, like, perfect for playing, like... Because we could put out the giant mat and, like, have plenty of room. Right. We eventually, later on, we actually had a train set and set it up in there. It was awesome.
You get caught up in the crossfire.
Yeah. All right. Well, he says, anyway, if you two were to be animated into a cartoon series, what genre and/or animator would you want to do the artwork? I am tall and thin, so I think Hanna-Barbera cartoon styling me would fit me. Then again, I would love to have Tex Avery, Chuck Jones style, or maybe a lighter side with Denver instead of Dave Berg. You guys are awesome, and keep up the great work.
I like the Mad Magazine Dave Berg.
Yeah.
Dude.
That'd be pretty funny.
Mine's easy, though. Like, I got mine easy.
Okay.
Mine would be John Kay, like, hands down.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Well,
we'd be a perfect Ren and Stimpy, too.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say either John Kay or it would be like, for me, like, I feel like the style would be like Dr. Katz or like
the Wiggly
like Wiggly or like Home Movies.
Yeah.
Because because it I don't know, I feel like that would express my.
Yeah.
But then again, like Tex Avery could do a lot of like fun animations, like.
But I could just see us like with the Ren and Stimpy, like when we do our poo talk, it would like zoom in close on a gross picture.
You know, John Kay's been doing sketches at the Shrine Show.
Really?
The last couple times. Although Derek said that they're actually doing
it
at the Shrine the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're gonna alternate. It sounds like so.
So, but Derek still wants to do that. But he also said he wants me, and I would assume like if he said he would even pay for John Kay to do
a Brendo sketch. Oh, dude.
He was like, what would he do?
You'd be like what's his name, George Liquor? Like, you'd totally be like one of those guys, you know.
Just a big, just hulking dude. Yeah.
But I think we'd be a funny Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
And like one of the things I love about Ren and Stimpy is how there's like their stories that they're in, but then some of the episodes are pulled back and they're the real Ren and Stimpy and they're running their fan club and stuff like that. And I picture us like as that version of Ren and Stimpy that
because wasn't there one where like Stimpy got really famous and Ren didn't when he's like doing the kitty litter commercials? Yep. So I could see like something like that.
Yeah, and he goes on Muddy Mud Skipper.
Oh yeah.
You mud skipper, it's money. Oh dude. But I don't know. I think that would be definitely mine. I like the others. All that other stuff.
Speaking of all the Mad stuff, I still can't believe you didn't go to the Mad panel with us.
Well, I can't remember. There was something
else. You were doing something else. I think you went to Key and Peele.
Yeah, Key and Peele. I think that was it.
You got to go next year because first of all, anybody that asks a question, they give out like all kinds of stuff. They were giving out original sketches.
That is super cool.
And plus, they have like some of the old dudes. It's not just like the new guys. They had like one of the original guys there. I don't know who. You would have definitely known who it was. They had like a couple. He was old. He was like super old.
It's tough. I mean, Comic-Con's tough though. There's so much cool stuff.
You got to go to the Mad panel. Like now that I've gone, I kind of want to make it like a destination panel.
But Key and Peele was definitely worth seeing though. That was super funny.
Yeah.
So I don't regret it.
Yeah.
But it's got to kind of go with the flow.
It's true.
So, well, anyway, thanks for writing in, Denver. That was, I like that question. It's very good.
All right, Mark Bolton. Hey, guys, Mark Bolton here again. Thanks for the advice on Ryan North. He's going to be on Comics Nerds Unite in February. There you go. They got him on the show.
Dude, that's amazing.
That's really awesome. Jealous. Super awesome.
Do you need extra guests to host it for you? Or
we're really excited about it. That's cool.
Me too.
Well, Ryan North's a cool guy.
Yeah, That's amazing.
He's, like I said, as we said, he's been super nice every time we talk to him.
Tell him we said hi.
Yeah, ask him if he read the Brax book.
Yeah, hey, remember that book you got? That was awesome.
Because people probably don't give you 500.
Right.
Especially now, he's like writing Marvel comics.
Oh,
he's doing the Bill and Ted comic.
He's big time.
He's big time now. Squirrel Girl's doing well.
Not to mention I have to say again, the Adventure Time stuff that he did is just masterful.
Yep. Another great thing, see, this is awesome. Another great thing, we're having a comic book convention in my hometown of Peoria, Illinois this May, and Comics Nerds Unite were asked to do a panel.
That's cool.
We're going to record a live episode. Knowing that you guys are panel veterans, do you have any advice for a novice? Okay. Biggest thing, because I actually read back, Adam Wells asked me the same question last year, and I read what I read. I feel like I gave him really good advice.
Okay, what was your advice?
One, have a moderator.
Yes.
And a moderator that you trust and can
move you along.
And also can be entertaining when need be.
Right.
And
we didn't know that until
we
had Josh.
Once we got Josh, it was like the next level.
Why haven't we not been doing this all along?
Yeah, because we used to do it without a moderator.
Now, if you're doing a live show, I don't know, like if they're just doing their podcast, it might be a little different. I don't know.
Still might be, but if they're it still might be good to have
things rolling,
like and someone to introduce you.
Yeah.
Because it also makes you look more professional.
Right, because they're like, oh, they've got a guy that's introducing them. They must be someone.
We had multiple people even say to us, wow, your moderator, that was really great.
Well, and one person, I can't remember who, but someone was like, oh, I love your moderator. I've seen him do other panels. He's really good. And we're like, okay, cool. But he had never done a panel before.
Yeah.
We didn't say anything, of course.
And then my other thing is, if you're going to do a Q&A, have him, in addition to having your moderator, have him have some prepared questions to kind of get things going.
Yeah.
Also, bribing your audience.
Yeah, bring something for them.
We always do like our little trivia contest at the beginning, and we give out candy.
Stickers or business cards if you're not allowed to do stickers.
Just make sure that and the other good thing is look at the rules, because depending on the con, some places don't allow stickers,
right.
Some places don't allow food, some places you have to get approval for all your handouts.
Right.
So make sure, and also be nice to the convention people, and make sure you thank everybody. Go out of your way to do it, because that's what's helped us a lot. Yeah. Is just going that extra mile, because a lot of people don't do that.
Right.
So, and then as far as recording, again, if you yourself don't have the knowledge, bring somebody that if don't count on them having like good sound equipment or anything. If you have a handheld thing, bring it. If not,
remember what we learned at Comic-Con? What we didn't think of, because we recorded it. I think Rachel was holding the handheld thing, like in the audience or something.
Yeah, but you don't get the audience.
Well, but more than that, like we should have plugged it in. Like if you have a
if
way
they
to
have
do
a board, plug
into
the because we did that once once, and it was way better, because then you also get because otherwise you're trying to get the audience questions.
Right.
And if you're doing audience questions. But if you can't go direct, make sure you have your setup and make sure you do a test run. Don't count on the panel to have anything.
Right.
Bring all your stuff. Bring more than you think you need.
More than you think you might need. And also, that's super cool, and I'm excited. We've never actually gotten to do a live podcast at a convention yet, which I really still want to do.
Yeah.
So I really want to hear how it goes.
We did a bagged and boarded at Wizard World LA.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I haven't gotten to.
And that was fun. But again, just come prepared.
Yeah.
And make sure you have more gear. And also the people in the convention, like they're there to help you. So if you need something, sure, tell them. And communication, they're always super nice. So.
Okay, one other thing I would say that's worked well for us. You got to like strike a balance, but not by not being too pushy. But we would go around before our panel, and we had flyers or stickers or whatever business cards to pass out, and kind of seek out people at booths or at tables that are like for us, we were doing a thing on webcomics, so we found other webcomics artists out there and said, hey, we're doing a panel about this, because that's your target audience. So obviously you're at a comic convention talking about comics, but you could still go out and promote it beforehand, even though you're at the thing and it's
print
in the
out
program.
flyers to put at the free table.
Yeah, let people know you're there.
Pass out flyers.
You can grow your audience just by doing that.
Yeah.
So.
And have fun.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
That's super cool.
It's awesome. You guys are going to be do an awesome job. And any of our listeners in the Illinois area, they should go to that comic book convention.
What's the convention called?
It doesn't say.
Well, Peoria, Illinois convention in May.
It's in May.
So you can find it there.
Also, someone mentioned Broad City being an excellent show. I back this 100%. I really want to watch it. I watched like some clips. It's really funny. It's a Comedy Central show.
Oh, okay.
You guys should give it a chance. It stars two amazing, hilarious women having surreal yet relatable misadventures in New York City.
That sounds good.
Love the show. Swing Set of Doom by St. Patrick's Day, 2015. What's going on with that?
Nah, nothing yet.
And then, as I said, we need to create a new pool for your
kitchen
nook.
Yeah, see,
because it's still sitting in a box.
In the garage.
Oh, now at least you moved it into the garage.
It was just in the hallway for a while.
I have a vested interest in this kitchen table because then I get your old kitchen table.
I'm working on it. I wouldn't hold my breath for St. Patrick's Day.
I'm still Christmas 2015.
Everyone thought
I think I'm gonna win by default.
Crazy. You're dumb. Why would you say 2 years?
I don't even know if that's gonna work because it's been sitting in the same state for like a year.
Yeah. Well, it's assembled. The last thing is just the anchors.
Yeah, and that's been there. It's been without anchors for like a year.
Yeah, settling into the ground nicely.
When are you gonna do that?
I don't know. Well, now when I have a project time, that's the table. I mean, Janelle wants the table done first, so that's what's gonna happen next.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, that's just the way it's gonna go. Sorry to disappoint you.
Well, maybe we can get Nook Breakfast Nook by St. Patrick's Day 2015. I don't know. That's seriously pushing it.
My dad said he's going to come down and help
spring
me.
break.
That's a good guess. I don't know, though.
Summer,
maybe.
I want a kitchen table. Look at my empty dining room.
I'm working on it. Kind of. I mean,
you're not working on it
I'm thinking
at all. You're not
it,
even thinking about it.
Well, now I am. Now that you mention it.
Just every time I mention it, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot we had that. I put together some Legos today. That's pretty good.
Did you see they're making Scooby-Doo Legos?
No, really?
Yeah, it's next
I want a mystery machine.
Looks pretty. They got a bunch of cool ones.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Mario writes, there is a measles outbreak at Disneyland. Shut the place down. Set up a no-fly zone. It is an infectious hot zone. Close the border. Over-exaggeration inspired by Fox News.
Or, here's another thought.
Vaccinate
your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
The real sad ones were the babies that got infected because they're too young to get. That's horrible. That should be like it should be like a crime.
It's seriously it's a disease that we basically eradicated.
And now it's coming back. Yeah. Well, I was just reading some quotes because first Will Wheaton posed the thing because it was like, well, it's the parents' right, and it was from the perspective of somebody saying that it was basically like an Onion article, like it's my right if I want to bring back this disease that we got rid of. It's my prerogative. I have the right to do that. And then and then Linda Gage just straight up was like, I guess people forgot what measles deaths look like because we're about to find out.
Yeah,
and
get ready for that. Because honestly, I mean,
what's next? Polio's gonna come back.
It's gonna.
Cholera.
Yeah.
Scarlet
that's
fever.
What we're looking at here. Smallpox.
I don't want smallpox.
I don't want smallpox.
What if we start? I'm not vaccinated for smallpox.
No, none of us are.
Because it was gone.
I don't
think smallpox will come back.
I don't know.
Well, how often did you hear about measles before?
Yeah, because it was gone. All I know is this. Normally we're not very political. I guess this is kind of political.
No, it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
The only reason why we're arguing about this is because one wacky doctor that was paid off by some people came up with a thing linking it to autism, and then a Playboy Playmate with a comedy show, and Rob Schneider amplified it and created this whole thing where it's a big conspiracy.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at now.
Just
never mind that hundreds and hundreds of doctors were like, no. But now But this is where today's society and world is driving me crazy. That again, I don't want to belittle Jenny McCarthy. She also is a comedy show.
Yeah.
She's an actress.
Even if you give her that.
An actress
Not doctor.
has equal weight as a medical doctor.
Yeah.
When we're living in a world where opinions are equal on that level, it's a dangerous world and it's screwed up.
Yeah.
There are people whose opinions based on fact way more than some rando.
Right. Okay, and here's my thing too. Even if, and I know it's completely debunked, but I don't understand this logic, even if it is linked to autism, wouldn't you rather have autism than die a horrible measles death?
Yeah.
That sounds not as bad. There's a lot of high-functioning autistic people. I've met and known many autistic people that are super cool, and they didn't have to die a horrible death of measles. So even if
polio,
you can't get past that,
whooping cough,
think of those
or
other
rubella.
things. Think of those other things, and it's
mumps.
worse. It's way worse. But I think once people start dying from it, I wouldn't be surprised if it cuts back a little.
Well, people already are dying of polio and things like that in third world countries, but we don't care about that.
Yeah, but I mean in America. Once Orange County gets hit with a bunch of deaths from measles or
it's happening right now.
Right, but once people die, I'm saying someone has to die for them to go like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like we can die from this? That's what's going to take.
The thing is, though, all you have to do now is, like, ask your grandpa or even, like, ask my mom, like, what was polio like?
Yeah.
And they will immediately be like, no, horrible, bad.
Get vaccinated. All right. That's a little rant. But it's worth it.
Have you ever read the book, The Hot Zone?
No, but
don't read it.
I avoid things like that.
It's a fictionalized account of when, I think it was Ebola, actually, like, it almost, like, made it to...
I don't know. I read one like that.
So basically, it really happened that there was some monkeys that were infected with Ebola that made it onto U.S. soil, and they managed to contain it, but if one thing had gone sideways, there would have been not the recent. I'm not talking it would have been basically if it had happened, what's happening now in like Sierra Leone and stuff would have been happening here.
Right.
Like it would have been full on Ebola outbreak, and it was there was just a couple things that if they had gone sideways.
I might have.
And so it's a fictionalized account. It's the most terrifying thing.
The one where they're like in the train tunnels at the end.
Maybe. I read it in college.
Yeah, I read one a while ago.
And it was the most terrifying thing
I've ever read. That's the last one like that I read. I'm not reading about major outbreaks anymore.
Those kind of things, when you really think about it, those are the things we should be afraid of. Not zombies, not like vampires. Because when you really think about things that really could cause major problems,
that's real.
That's real. I mean, look at what's happening again. Like third world countries, that is real. So as even reading The Stand for me sometimes, like I remember during like SARS and all this stuff, reading The Stand, I'm like, oh man, this is like crazy. But I watched Contagion. I'm like, this isn't. No.
Outbreak. You remember Outbreak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Contagion was like, wait, because I'm like, this is how it's going to happen. Like this is because that's what would happen. There would be a bunch of people denying it. There would be a bunch of people trying to profit off of it.
Yep.
And meanwhile, everybody's gonna die, and it's gonna be horrible.
That's not entertainment to me. That's just stress.
Because that's like a horror movie. You have that like this is not real.
I'm okay with that.
The demon's not gonna come through my television set.
Ghosts or
and
whatever.
Like things.
I'm cool.
Whereas like a real virus that communicate like that very well could happen. It is happening and does happen.
If you want to push me over the edge to like complete OCD freak out, make me watch stuff like that.
Have you seen Contagion?
No, and I don't plan to.
Because it will.
It will freak me out. I can't do it.
Because the whole thing turned out with a cook that didn't wash his hands. Because at the very end they go all the way back to like patient zero, and it was Gwyneth Paltrow, but she was infected because a chef like didn't cut the meat properly or didn't wash his hands or something.
Ugh.
And it came all the way to like almost world destroying.
On Sunday we went out to eat at Bob's Big Boy.
Yeah.
For lunch, which was really good. But we were in the bathroom. I took Luke to the bathroom, and there's a nice older gentleman that came in went into the sit-down stall, and Luke and I take a while because we got to wash
blast
hands
off?
Headed straight. No, what's worse is Luke was like, I was washing my hands, and Luke was like reaching for a paper towel.
Mm-hmm.
He came straight out of the stall, said, "Oh, here, let me help you, son," and ripped off a paper towel and handed it to him, and then went straight out the door. I'm like, no, we're washing hands again. Like, we're starting over.
So he definitely.
He was in there, came straight out, went back out in the restaurant.
No.
Yeah, so it's real.
That's all it takes.
That's it. Then there you go. That's the beginning of the movie. Ugh.
All right. Well, you know what's not scary?
No, what's that?
Listening to podcasts on Stitcher.
Unless it's like a
horror podcast. Well, still, it's fun to listen.
It's true.
And you know what you're getting, and you don't lose your place when you listen to those podcasts. Go to radiobrendo.com, click the Stitcher link. If you haven't signed up for an account, use the code BrendoMan. It's free. You can listen on the web, all mobile devices, your tablet, except if you have an iPhone 3G like I do. It doesn't work.
For most people.
They
have normal phones.
So bummed about my old phones. But it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
I said on Popsicles this week, I've been paying a lot more attention to TV shows.
That's probably true.
Yeah, because I'm not looking down at my phone.
Because you got that app, right?
I actually...
Did you delete the MySpace app? You can never get that back now.
I can't.
That's like the Flappy Bird of apps.
MySpace.
You could have sold that on eBay. Like, oh, look.
With the phone with the MySpace app. Well, because it was almost out of space. And, I had to delete some stuff.
You deleted MySpace to get more space.
Yeah. Man, remember MySpace?
Yeah, it was huge.
Tom?
Yeah. Remember, it shows, people would be like, oh, friend me on MySpace.
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore.
Well, for music, that was, the thing for a while.
I still feel that the MySpace music player and the way it was set up is better for me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the way it was. Now it's horrible.
Now it's all messed up.
When they tried to relaunch it, they just broke it.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
But the way that it was, the way the player was laid out, I still like that
MySpace
better than
in 2005.
Yeah.
For music was perfect. And then people could add songs and put them in their players and encourage
sharing those
you to share music
But then they did their whole where you could buy songs
through it, and then that ended up being a whole nobody got paid.
That was kind of the beginning of the end, I feel like.
Yeah.
That burned a lot of people.
Bands left MySpace in droves.
Because we know for sure people bought albums from
people
us on
bought
MySpace, and we didn't see it.
Yeah. Nobody saw money.
Yeah. Anyway.
And imagine big bands.
Yeah, because ours were probably $50.
Yeah. There were bands that probably sold a lot of
because for us that was 2005. That's when Ann Lynn came out.
Yeah.
So we had a big our best-selling album we ever did.
Yeah.
And we didn't see any of that money.
Yeah. Well, where you will see money is when you think of the savings that you use from going to DreamHost and signing up for a web hosting program. A web hosting package.
Yeah, that's probably more cool.
And use the promo code Radio BrendoMan at checkout. Go to dreamhost.com, use the promo code Radio BrendoMan at checkout. Save $50 off your order, plus get a free domain registration. If you get a year of hosting, you already get a free registration, so that's 2.
There you go. Ready to set
money
up your web
in
empire.
The bank for your future web empire. And you know who is a web empire?
Already.
Amazon.
Amazon.
You could be the next Amazon.
It's true.
Joe's stuff. Nile.
Yeah. Probably a thing. Nile.com.
Yeah. All right. Well, Amazon Prime is a cool thing.
Yes, it is.
And
I just ordered something from Amazon Prime on Saturday, and it came in the mail Monday morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
I ordered the book that we're going to read because the library doesn't have it.
Which one?
I Want to Go Home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you found it, though?
They have, so there's the original.
Right.
Which the cheapest copies are $50.
Yeah, which I have.
Well, then they did a reprint in 2004.
Oh, okay.
So, because they reprinted a bunch of his books.
I wonder if they updated it
they did.
The other
they
ones.
did.
Interesting. I hope it doesn't ruin it.
I don't know.
Well, it'll be interesting. You'll read that version and we'll compare notes.
So, but I was one of those where it's a penny and $3.99 shipping.
So
it's $4.
That's cool.
Because I want to read at the same time as you, and They didn't have, like, again, like the library has 104 Gordon Corman books.
Yeah.
But
Well,
not
I
this
know.
one.
I
They don't
didn't
have
know.
this. They don't have that one. They only have one McDonald Hall book. So like,
Yeah, well, because they reissued the first one.
yeah, and that's the one they have.
That's the one they have.
But they don't even have this one, and there's a reissue of it. So like,
but for whatever reason, I mean, I have been looking for another copy because my copy is from when I was a kid.
If you want the old one, it's the cheapest ones are $50.
I kept an eye out for years.
Well,
it's
they have,
not easy to find.
like I said, they have a reprint one, but
mine's all held together with like tape but you know,
yeah.
I'm telling you won't regret it. It is a great book.
Well, Amazon Prime is also great.
Yep.
And you can get a 30-day free trial. If you go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon Prime trial link, and you'll get a 30-day free trial. You'll get unlimited ad-free access to over 1 million songs through Amazon Prime Music. You also get instant watch 40,000 movies and TV episodes. They got some bunch of HBO stuff. You also got, if you have a Kindle, you got the Kindle Owner's Lending Library. You can get a free book every month. And the big thing we already talked about, unlimited free 2-day shipping with no minimum order size. That's so great for like gifts, Christmas shopping, any of that stuff. You need a quick thing. Like I got a charger for my Nook. It's $5.
There
Prime, boom, done.
Good deal.
So definitely, if you haven't signed up for Prime, you can give it a try. 30-day free trial, and if you like it, it's just $99 per year, and it's totally worth it.
Definitely.
And we're not just saying that because it's part of our advertisement. We're saying that because it's something.
We've both had it for how long? Well, you've had it longer than me, but I've had it for
a long
several
time.
years now.
And speaking of Amazon, even if you don't have Prime, if you're buying stuff on Amazon, we all know it's great. Everybody's buying stuff on Amazon. Before you do that, go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon banner or the link if you're using AdBlock. Click the banner or click the link, and then just do your normal Amazon shopping. Get the same great prices, but you'll be helping out the show. And we've been getting a ton of Amazon stuff this month, so you guys are awesome. We really appreciate it.
So let's read now, anonymously, of course, what you guys have been buying.
Yeah. All right, so we got a square buckle suede leather casual jean belt.
Gotta get belts.
Yeah. And we got The Flash Volume 4, Reverse, the new 52.
Reverse Flash.
You got Ghostbusters 2. Somebody got Ghostbusters is probably
nice.
the same. They got Ghostbusters 2. And this is 4K mastered Blu-ray. We got Master and Commander. This might have been the same guy that bought the Blu-ray player last week.
Probably so. They're loading up on their Blu-rays.
So we got Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. We got Platoon. We got Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Excellent show. Did you ever watch that show?
Still have not seen that.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's like, for me, it goes Terminator. I don't know. What do you put over Terminator 2 or Terminator? They're both really good, but they're like different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, it's kind of like Alien versus Alien.
Yeah.
Like they're really good and kind of super different.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll put them, and then I would say them, then Sarah Connor Chronicles, then Terminator 3, and I only saw part. I saw part of Salvation, and I thought it was dumb.
Yeah. 3's okay. It's not bad, but it's not great.
It's not great.
It's just
I've gotten in arguments with people about this, but like, I just really hate how it basically takes the entire message of Terminator 2 and basically says, nope, everything is predetermined and you can't control.
Right.
You know, like the whole message Terminator 2 is there is no fate, but what we make.
Right.
And then in Terminator 3, they're like, nope.
Except, just kidding.
Judgment Day is going to happen no matter what. You're all screwed.
Yeah. So why did he have to sacrifice himself in the pool if it was for nothing?
Well, he came back. He's coming back again.
And he's gonna be back.
The new trailer looks kind of like when they come back to 1984 and it's all different because of what's already happened. This is where they're actually playing with the whole the whole paradox thing and like all the weird stuff, because that's always the problem with Terminator. It's like, well, if he did that, then how is John Connor even born? Because if there's no Judgment Day, then John Connor wouldn't even be born, because he kind of sends a dude from the past to go be his dad. And isn't that weird? Because doesn't he know that it's going to be his dad?
Yeah.
So then you know, and you're sending some dude back in time to bone your mom. But if he had to have.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then you won't be born.
But how was he born in the first place? What came first?
Exactly. But that's where they're doing this cool thing where it's like he goes back to 1984 thinking he's going to save John Connor, and Sarah Connor, she's the one that says, "Come with me if you want to live." And it's freaking it's Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, so that's awesome.
Okay.
And I don't know, I'm excited.
It looks cool.
But anyways, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles Season 2. The other cool thing about Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles is Shirley Manson from Garbage.
Oh, really?
Plays a T-1000.
Nice.
And it's freaking awesome.
That's cool.
And I know the actor that you like a lot from Raising Hope, the dad.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know him from Sarah Connor Chronicles and Deadwood. And in Sarah Connor Chronicles, he plays John Henry, who is the prototype Terminator.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But he's not a Terminator yet. He's just a sentient. He's like an AI.
Okay.
And he's like, because it's basically the origins of the Terminator. And then it gets really crazy because the owner of the company, that's gonna be Cyberdyne, that like designs this robot, is run by Shirley Manson, who is the T-1000. So then you get to the point where it's like the T-1000s at some point broke off.
Huh.
And like they went back to the past to try. I don't know. Sarah Connor Chronicles gets like really crazy.
Did it get shut down?
It got season. They didn't. Basically, the finale of season 2. You're like, they just took this show to like a whole other level. They opened it up to where anything was possible.
And then
cancel.
Shut it off. Hate that.
So okay, we got The Arrival. We got The Da Vinci Code. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hated that movie.
So boring.
So.
And then it's
the worst. Well, don't spoil it in case they haven't watched it yet. But it's the worst ending. It's the worst.
It's behind a rope.
Yeah. You know, like Indiana Jones, they like open the Ark of the Covenant.
It's just the thing behind a rope.
Employees only, do not enter.
That's what was holding back.
That was keeping them back from the whole secret.
So stupid.
Oh my gosh, I hated that movie.
The Grand Budapest Hotel. Awesome movie.
Oh, excellent movie.
The River Wild.
I haven't seen that in a while. That's the
We used to always watch it. That's Streep.
I know. It's an early one that I disliked.
I just remember we always would watch it when we would go whitewater rafting because Mike would try and freak us out.
Because that's the whole thing. She's like the tough, the river guide, right?
Did you see Adaptation?
Yeah.
She's amazing in Adaptation.
She's the worst part. I loved elements of that movie, and she ruined it.
Oh my gosh, you're so crazy.
She ruined it.
Tusk on Blu-ray. There you go.
I was talking with Clark Spivey about that, and he's like, "Did you ever see that?" Because remember he came to the panel with us. And I said, "No." I said, after hearing Brendan, I don't think I could watch it. He's like, "I still really want to see it. I really want to see it."
You should watch it.
Sounds crazy.
It's the crazy.
I'm like, according to him, it really is. He's like, "I want to see it."
They go as far as you think they're gonna go, and then he goes a little bit farther.
Yeah, I don't think I can take it. I'll just go watch. I'll watch Cop Out again.
Well, the second one is PG-13.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
All right. So we got EBL 808 8-bay slot, AA, AAA, quick charger.
Battery charger. All right.
Expert power rechargeable battery.
Probably to go with that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I saw this.
That's
cool.
We got Cold War Kids on vinyl.
About the vinyl.
There we go, from our good friend Maddie Moss.
And my ex-roommate.
Yes. And other friends from Biola.
Yes.
And they're just an awesome band.
Did you know who's their new drummer now?
No.
He was in some other awesome band now, and now I can't even think of it.
It's not one of the guys from,
Dang it.
Is it from, well, because their other band is with Workington.
Yeah, but no, it's not. It's because their other drummer, left the band.
Yeah.
Okay, keep reading. I'm going to look it up.
All right, then we got the Head in the Heart LP plus MP3. So somebody's buying some vinyl.
Very nice.
So that's cool.
Tell us about your turntable. I want to know.
We got tube amp. We got going on.
Yeah.
So we got that. And we got AGP Tech call center dial pad headset telephone with tone dial keypad and read dial. Cool. I think that was a Craig from the Res purchase because he was talking about.
That's right. You
Getting.
remember asking about that?
Because he was asking me about it. We got Icon Time. Greetings from Reno Valley. Got into VOD movie segment. We actually just. Oh wait, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
We're still on Amazon segment.
Yeah, we've been going for a while.
All right.
Modest Mouse and the Shins.
Oh wow! So they got.
That's their new drummer.
Wow.
Modest Mouse and the Shins.
So they got like a huge like.
Yeah.
Like a.
He's the original drummer for Modest Mouse. Et cetera, et cetera.
Wow, that's cool.
All right, maybe not the original. Anyway.
I guess they're a big time band, so they get big time.
So there you go. I knew it was some cool band. I couldn't think about it.
We have talked about the Royal Rumble yet.
Yeah, quite a bit.
We talked about it at the beginning of the show.
We'll have to go back
because
and check it out.
Phil actually.
I knew about
it's crazy
it.
that Phil was like, "What was the deal at the Royal Rumble?" Because it's all over social media, and also Raw getting canceled tonight. Phil knew about that stuff.
I knew about that.
So that was monumental. So we had to talk about it.
All right, where were we here?
We got Icon Time, Universal Time Clock. God was angry with the results, I guess. Something.
That was him weighing in on the whole thing.
Proximity Card Badge.
What's that? Like a security?
Yeah, like
thing?
a security key.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah, these are like the
spy
keys.
stuff or something?
Well, for like an office.
Oh, okay.
Because you got a time clock.
Oh, yeah, I guess that fits more with that. Spy stuff sounds more exciting, though, so I'm going to think it's that. They're building some kind of a thing to break into some maximum security thing.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. Tell us about that.
Well, that's our Amazon stuff.
Sweet. Thank you guys for buying
a lot of stuff.
Helping us out.
All right. Coming up, I guess by the time this goes up, it'll probably go up tomorrow, and it'll be the day of the thing.
Hear it from
James Riley book tour stopping at Barnes & Noble in Montclair tomorrow night.
You're going to be there, and you hear this right beforehand. Come let us know.
We're going to be there.
It's going to be cool. I'm getting the new book.
Yeah.
Have him sign it.
Yeah. We need to get him to record the intro.
Thing. He doesn't know we're coming. I didn't tell him we're anything.
I think it'll be a cool little.
Be cool, like, hey.
What if he's like,
oh, weirdo. No, it's cool. As long as we're not creepers or anything.
No, I think it'll be fine.
It'll be good. He wants people to be there.
We had good rapport.
Yeah. What if it's all just elementary kids? We'll have my kids though, so it's cool.
Yeah, we got kids. That's our cover.
We got the buffer there. We're not just two old dudes that are going to it. But it's for older grades, so it counts.
I read a lot of his author Q&A things on Tumblr and on Goodreads, and a lot of the questions
they're hilarious.
They're really funny.
Yeah, they did the updates
from 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're like, "Are you really this guy? Or what's the deal with this thing? Or if you could be this person, are you nobody?" Just asking all
and then there's a lot
questions.
of shippers for.
Oh, Jack so many shippers.
When are they gonna get married?
Okay, you want to hear something that blew my mind?
Okay.
Melissa called herself a shipper.
Oh my gosh, my sister.
She's like, "I'm a shipper."
Oh, I mean, it's just inevitable.
She's obsessed with The Walking Dead, so she's like, "I'm a shipper," and she was asking me "Do you think so and so should be a couple? Do you think so and so and so?" I'm like, "I don't care about that. This is a show about people getting eaten by zombies."
Oh my gosh, I mean. It's no more offensive than other things, but it's just my sister. It's my little sister.
Yeah, but that's what the kids are into.
I know, but I want her to be little baby Mimi that says, "How cute are you?" Not reading
One Direction fan fiction.
Yes, and watching the Walking Dead and imagining which ones they're gonna make out together. I can't. I'm not ready for that. That's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, James Riley. That's gonna be cool.
And then we got the Long Beach Comic Expo. February 28th.
Coming up there.
March 1st. Then we got WonderCon, Easter weekend.
I wonder... Pumped. I don't know.
I wonder if there's a con.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to really get to go, or is it all...
Well, we'll find out.
All right.
And I think this weekend was the panel Zombie Shay should hook up with dead lorry people. Yeah.
Got another shipper over here.
But we got WonderCon coming. That's gonna be cool. We got the Benview Megacast happening.
Yep.
And this weekend was the panel deadline, so they should start letting
us
people know.
So who knows?
Who knows?
You did a webcomics one and a podcast, so who knows? Could be cool.
All right. So what about you? What's going on with Phil? What's in the Phil stuff?
Well, a couple quick things. We had a reunion for with my band that I played in for a while and toured around with for a little bit. The Spivvies. I think we probably talked about it a little bit before.
Because you first were their sound guy.
Yeah. Well, originally,
you toured with them as their sound guy.
I started booking them, booking shows for them and stuff when I was in high school, and they were in college at the time, because they're not that much older than me. And then, did a lot of shows for them, and then they wound up bringing me on as their sound guy. Toured around with them, doing that for a while. We did
toured around the country.
Yeah, a couple national tours, we did a month at a time, basically. So, some of the most amazing experiences of my life. If you ever want to hear just a whole show of me talking about touring stories, I could do that for hours.
Yeah.
And in fact, we did. So we got together, and after a while then of me doing sound, the bass player decided to leave the band peacefully.
Yeah.
And they asked me to join in, and I played bass with them it was probably only about a year and a half.
But you did get to be in a music video.
But I was in the music video. So that's out there if you want to look it up.
But the album you guys were recording was never released.
That's right. There's an EP, and this was discussed at the reunion, so you never know. There's an unreleased EP, and there's an unreleased Christmas special, like a radio show with original songs in it that would be amazing. So my dream is for them to do, and you got to have everyone on board for it, especially since they're the original members and stuff, but to do a release of the EP, and it's a 3-song EP. I thought it was more, but I guess it's only 3 songs. But still, 3 songs that were never released. Do it as a 7-inch, but also have a CD option, and digital, of course. And then do a CD of the Christmas one, because it's about an hour or something like that, or maybe 40 minutes.
But you guys had
But anyway, we had this gathering thing. It was cool.
Told old stories.
All night. We were there till all hours.
How'd your kids? Well,
the great part is
people
almost. Well, 2 of the band members had their kids there. Ivan's kids weren't there because they were up.
That's right. Ivan has twins.
Ivan has twins, but they were up in Oregon.
Yeah.
So, but their kids were all super great. Rob's kids in particular are. He was the bass player that I replaced, but again, it was all peaceful, so it wasn't anything weird. And his kids are I want to say 10 and 12, and they had his daughters are 10, 12, and then his son is I think 8. Anyway, the daughters in particular had planned out this whole night knowing our kids were coming, so they had games planned out for them and coloring activities, and they watched a movie and they played board games, and it was awesome. They entertained them the whole night so that we could all just hang out, and it was just the adults.
That's awesome.
And we didn't know they were gonna do that, and it was super cool. So we had hours just to hang out, and plus Rob's wife Julie's a really good cook. She made this homemade Alfredo lasagna stuff that was just incredible, and homemade ice cream with homemade caramel and blueberries on it. Oh my gosh!
Holy crap!
I'm can we please come over and eat at your house some more? But no, it was really fun. It was just super good time, sharing old stories from the road. And, so who knows? You might see some stuff come out of that. And if you really want to see me in a music video, you should
That's
look
what
it
I
up.
got. I should have had you ask, because I told you that story about the show that I went to where Spivvies played with Drive, and the preacher got up in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
I still want to ask them if they remember that show.
I'm sure they do.
It was, I think they played before, because it was in between Spivvies and Drive, and half the people just left.
Oh, I'm sure. There's nothing worse than that. I'm just at a concert, and then someone's gonna preach at you.
They ambush you, and that's why people are scared to go. If you tell a normal, a non-Christian person, hey, come to this concert at a church, they immediately what's the trick?
Nope. Yeah, exactly.
That's why we did most of our shows at Biola.
Yeah, I avoid. If you have to do it, obviously, the cool thing about having churches is they've got venues with sound systems built in, so that's kind of an advantage, but
there's also that stigma.
There's also that stigma, which is definitely there.
Unfortunately,
but I've done everything I can to release that.
But that has never happened at a pop box.
Absolutely not.
Never.
Nothing
we would never do that. We're just here to put on a show.
Rock and roll.
It's rock and roll.
You can talk about what bands can talk about with you what they want to afterwards and that kind of thing, but that's not what we're about. But anyway, it was super, super great, and we are going to work on getting some more stuff out there. I think we can make it happen.
Nice.
It's good stuff. If you want to listen to these Spivvies, I think they've even uploaded a lot of the albums
on like
stuff.
SoundCloud?
Maybe, I don't know, because I'm not in control of that stuff. They have a Facebook page. It's THEE Spivvies, SPIVIES, and you should check it out because it's fun stuff.
If you're into like surf rock or like
Dick Dale, that kind of stuff, but also like
classic, even
Buddy
like,
Holly, that kind of thing. Yeah, it was very much like a theme band, you know. So, and it's a lot of fun. It's really good stuff. And then, speaking of bands,
so one of our listeners, Matt Zappa, he was with What is it called, Matt?
Mike Kerr. Mike
Kerr group.
Kerr.
Kerr. And they were playing at the Whiskey
in Hollywood.
And this is one of the few times I got guest listed at a show, because that's like one of the, like, you know, I guess in our heyday we would get guest listed a lot, but it's been a while.
It's been a little bit, yeah.
Since we've gotten guest listed at a show. It's one of the perks of like knowing a lot of bands and being when you're like really active. It's like,
well, it's funny because now a lot of bands that we work with, it's just they do free shows. Like that's just kind of the way it goes now.
Yeah.
Although I think Devious Means might have signed up for a couple shows. That's probably the last ones.
But like, I just remember back in the day, like when we knew all the promoters, and like if another promoter that we knew was having a show, we'd get to go into their shows. And then if other bands that we knew,
there's a couple of the venues that they would just like flag us in.
Venues would flag us in, even like to the point where even places where it was free, but like sometimes there was like a line. I remember it got to the point where the Detroit guy was just like, "Hey, guys, like we got even."
Yeah,
like,
good, guys.
Yeah, but
it's been a little bit.
But so it was cool. It was cool. Matt, I just want to thank you, Matt, because it just brought us back.
So, but there was an interesting.
But then there was a development, and this will tail into my stuff to mention, because I ate some pizza on Saturday night from the local Pizza Hut. I don't know what I did. I don't know what it was. I got a stuffed crust. Maybe it was a stuffed, but I've had stuffed crust a bunch.
Well,
and it was stuffed crust with meatballs, and then I got the free sauce drizzle, and I got the balsamic.
Yeah, sounds
good.
It
was good. Well, something in it made me puke a whole bunch, because I woke up. We already talked about this on the pre-show.
Right.
But so on Sunday, like probably like around 3, 4 in the morning, I woke up, ran to the bathroom, puked a bunch, and I thought it was over. Sunday morning, I woke up, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm about to puke. It was, I'm going to puke right now. As soon as I woke up, and I just leaned over and just hurled, just puked all over my floor. Some of it got on the bed. It's just everywhere. And then I texted Phil, and I'm like, because you were playing music that morning, and I was really wanted to go see you, and I'm like, I can't come, but maybe I'll be better for the show, so I'm going to rest up. As soon as I stopped that text, like 20 minutes later, ran to the bathroom, and it was like a both ends situation. It was horrible. Puking is horrible because like you can't control it, and the worst is when you know you're not done, and it's about to, and that's the worst. That is the worst feeling. You're just like, you just feel like crap. But then you do feel pretty good when it's all over.
It's better.
But it's still horrible because it's just so.
So then
I puke all over the place. I've puked like a total like 10 times. I'm feeling all just crappy. I went to the 99-cent store and bought a bunch of stuff to clean my carpet and a bunch of like Gatorade and water and fluids, some ginger ale, all the Pepto, got all that stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, I should be better by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock when we gotta go show. It feels like no, you're not going.
I think listeners will be on my side on this because we were planning on leaving at
I was gonna have you drive
from 10 a.m. to 5.
You
said like 10:30 or something.
10 o'clock.
Well, you said after you texted me, and I was like right at 10.
It was like right around then.
Anyway, even still.
So maybe 10:30.
10 o'clock, 10:30 to 5. And my logic was this. First of all, you puke 10 times.
Yeah.
So who knows if it's going to come in again. Second of all, if you do have the flu, which we're not 100% sure, now it looks like probably not because it's later, I don't want to get sick.
You're about to go on a trip.
Going on a big trip, don't want to be sick for it. And finally, if we do get out to L.A. or somewhere around there, and you have a both-in situation, there is no worse place to have to deal with that than in a nasty club bathroom or somewhere along the way. And so I was like, dude, no, I think people agree. And what, you went to bed early, you slept in super late the night today? Like,
so basically I napped throughout the day, I watched the Royal Rumble, and then I watched Parenthood, and then I cried a bunch because both of those were sad, but Parenthood mostly. I cried a lot. Right. There's only one more episode left. So this is the second to last episode, so they're wrapping things up.
Right.
And it's bittersweet, but like some of the moments on that show are just so wonderful. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah. So and then Phil's like, no. And then you were like, if you go, I'm not going.
Well, I just said because I mean. My point was this. You need to rest. I don't want to be in a car with you if you're going to barf all over the place. I said because you didn't want to disappoint Matt, and I understand that. Like, this is big, and I know you felt bad.
He came all the way from Boston.
I was like, he'll understand. He did. He was super understanding about it.
Well, anyway, so
if you really want to go, you can drive. I'll stay home.
You took Matt, your brother.
I took my brother Matt. Oh, by the way, I just told him I was you at the door. So
okay.
I didn't ask for ID or anything like that.
I figured this is how it works.
But yeah, so my brother was still out because he had been hanging out on Sunday morning with us, and so he's like, "Oh, I'll come out with you." So we went out. We had a great time. It's great because the door is open at 7, but knowing LA, I'm like, because we had said we'll leave at 5, and I'm like, there's no way. And so I called the whiskey actually and found out the order of the bands, and Mike Kerban was playing third of the lineup. So I'm like, all right, the door's open at 7, and they're playing third. I'm not leaving at 5. Like, I'm gonna go. So we wound up leaving at like 6:30.
Yeah.
We stopped at In-N-Out along the way. We rolled in there about like 8:30, and they were still on the second band. So it was like perfect timing. And the second band that played, the one that we got to see the tail end of, was entirely consisted of like junior high kids. They're like playing like metal, like I don't know, like not really metal, but like rock covers and stuff. Like I don't know, I didn't know who the band was that they played, but anyway, it's funny because they had like a good little crowd that was there watching them, and it's all their parents, and, like aunts and uncles and stuff. But it was cute, it was fun,
Yeah.
So we actually came in like at their last song. The funny part is they do like a pat down at the door, and they're getting like much more thorough now. Like back in the day, they're like,
well, there's been too many incidents.
So they do this. Well, so you know me, I have cargo pants.
Yeah, with like a million. Did you have your DS?
I had my DS on me. So
you got your.
What you got here?
Get your hand sanitizer.
I got my hand sanitizer, my lip balm, my crappy old wallet. He looked at the wallet and was like, "Oh man, that wallet's messed up, bro." I'm like, "Yeah, it's old." He's like, "What else you got in here?" And so he had to like go through everything. Probably thought I was a crazy person without the hand sanitizer.
Kind of are.
A little bit, but we got in no problem though. And anyway, so we watched that band, and then I spotted Matt Zappa as he was like getting set up. And we got to talk for a little bit there, and he hooked us up with his signature drumsticks.
Yeah.
So he's got like a sponsored drumstick. It's got his signature on it. It's funny. He was telling us like a quick story about it that, like, it's his signature, and they're like, okay, we'll just sign it, for them to put it on the stick. And he said it took him like 35 minutes to do it because he was freaking out that it didn't look good. And, and I'm like, oh, yeah. So now I was imagining like, if I got a signature drumstick, they'd be like, "Oh, dude, that's never mind.
No.
You don't get one. You're taking it back. Your handwriting is horrible." But my brother's would be the worst. Have you ever seen David's signature?
Yeah.
It's just 2 little squiggle lines. Like it's nothing. It's like a whoa.
I actually, I signed something for this doctor the other day, and he looked at my signature and he's like, "What the heck is that?" It's like, I see the B. Is that an 8? It looks like is your last name 8? He just gave me like the hardest time.
That's from a doctor. That's pretty
bad. Shut up, old man, dude. Like,
yeah, that's the only time you have to like write your name. Just type it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he hooked us up with the sticks, and then they did the show.
Totally shred.
It was awesome. So I don't know if it's 100% the right way to describe it. I might not have the terms, but I think
metal.
It's instrumental. like melodic metal, maybe like I think progressive metal, is that maybe the word for it? I don't know. I'm not good with the genres as far as that goes, but instrumental, like like the lead guy, the Mike Kerr, just shredding on the guitar, and then like the awesome bass player. But I'm telling you, listener Matt Zappa, like one of the best drummers I've ever seen.
And you've seen a lot of drummers.
I've seen a lot of drummers.
And we've seen a lot of metal bands, hardcore bands.
I've seen them all, punk bands, everything in between. And it was spectacular. I mean, his double bass was just, but the last song, like he did like an extended drum solo, and everyone stood back, and it was like it blew me away. Like I've not seen, rarely have I seen a drum solo of this caliber. So it was spectacular. I don't even know. I mean, he was like he did like the kick drum thing, and he was doing like a dueling banjos between the kick drum and then playing like bongos on his snare drum or something. Like I don't even know what was going on. It was just insane.
And that's the Mike Kerr group.
Mike Kerr group.
And then his other band, his home, I guess it's his band.
Right.
They're out of Boston. They're called Protean Collective.
And
you can check them out online. But also, you met some of the guys from that band.
Well, a girl from that band.
And then you met, remember her name. And then you met Mike Kerr.
And we met Mike Kerr and the bass player, and I don't remember what his name was. But anyway, everyone was super nice.
And then you got to hang out after the show. And I know that's like one of your favorite things to do. Period.
That. Yeah, that's
and
the
like
thing.
So, especially when you're off air, because I remember that's like Janelle's big thing. Like if we go to a show, she's gonna be like, "You're going by." She won't drive with Phil because it's like she knows you're gonna stay after.
Well, I'll be like, the show's over at 9. She's like, then you're not coming home till 1. So I'm not gonna drive with you.
Because you always stay after and talk with them.
That's the best part. So I mean, we even like cut it short compared to normal. I think we talked for about an hour and a half, something like that. But I had to drive all the way back here and get to bed and stuff. So, and then poor Matt, I just saw like on Facebook they were supposed to fly back this morning to Boston.
Yeah, and
but like all these
there's a travel ban
canceled. I saw it before he came here. He's like stuck in LAX right now.
Oh man, that sucks.
So we might need to like bring him out to Ukaipa or something if he's here for a while. I don't know. Hopefully he gets out there sooner because he had like he's got some stuff he had to get back for. He said so. Anyway, but it was really cool. It was a lot of fun talking to him. I hope it was all he dreamed of, meeting me in person. I don't know.
Well, hopefully he got some good vinyl because I know that was a thing. Did you guys?
Well, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, because I know I told him like
he was asking. I remember that.
You gotta go to Amoeba and hopefully
they had played House of Blues the night before that.
Well, that's cool.
And then went to NAMM.
House of Blues LA or Anaheim?
Yeah, in LA.
You know the LA one's closing.
Yeah. That's like they had a rare opportunity there. It's going away. So anyway, super fun show. Great job, Matt. And it was nice meeting you. And we had fun. He even I think Matthew got a video of this. Like we were talking about drums because he gave us the drumsticks and he was like, "Oh, we were talking about like our family band and me teaching my kids music." And he's like, "Well, who's going to be the drummer?" And I said, I don't know. We got to find someone because I don't know how to play drums, and so I don't know how to teach drums." And they're like, "Oh, it's easy. I'll teach you." And I was like, every drummer that I've ever met has told me like, "I'll teach you to play drums," and I can't do it. I'm not built up. He's like, "I'll show you." And so he did this thing because we're both dudes of size, if you will. And he's like, "I'll show you." And he does all his drum practice like by slapping his belly like this. And he did this like drum lesson where I was like slapping. He's like, "Okay, do the right hand and do the left hand." And then it's like I had to do the kick drum with my foot. And Matthew videoed it. And I think it's probably really embarrassing because we
gotta get that. Oh, dude,
the two of us standing right under the sunset sign with all these people driving by, and he's teaching me belly to play drums on my belly.
Well, hey, you got 2 kids. Glenn Galloway's kid was playing drums. That kid was like 10.
But he probably was able to like teach him. I don't know what to do.
We can get Audrey a video.
Anyway, you're gonna have to bug Matthew for that because it's a pretty.
Take Audrey to drum lessons.
Yeah.
I think Audrey could be a good drummer.
I think so. I mean,
or
we
Luke.
need drummers. Either one.
Get one of them.
See who wants to.
Who wants to be BrendoMan All-Stars drummer?
Who wants to? Okay, this is crazy too, and I'm gonna hold Matt to this, and I hope he does. He's like, he offered, like, would we be interested? And if he like laid down some like crazy drum stuff, would we like?
Oh heck yeah!
Like be able to use it?
Oh heck yeah!
I'm like, in BrendoMan All Stars, like, dude. And he's like, what would you want? I'm like, you spend it, we will use it. So, please. I mean, I know he's a busy guy, but if you get a chance to do that,
well, you know what else he said?
What's that?
because I sent him an email just saying I was sorry I couldn't show. Because again, I feel really bad. I wish I could have gone.
He understood though. I don't think he
a lot.
wanted you to puke on him either.
I'll take a picture if you really want to see.
He shared some good puke stories from like tours and stuff, so it was good.
He said he has some counters to Phil Logic because his friend is a lot like you.
Oh yeah, he was saying that.
He said he's gonna teach me some tricks.
It was funny. He had some questions like banked for me, and like I think one of the first ones he launched is like, all right, I gotta ask you this. What's the deal with brushing your teeth in the shower, man? And it started off with that. Matthew's like, oh my gosh, not this again. So anyway, we had some good talks about some stuff.
So I told him, I'm like, any help I could get against Phil Logic, I am open to.
Yep.
So I'm gonna wait to see what he says.
So.
Well, I'm glad we had a good. So we've had some good listener experiences.
And even though we had to pay for parking, it was at least a relatively painless thing. The guy at the parking was kind of weirdo, but you know.
Steve asked, "Can I play jug or laundry washboard for BrendoMan All Stars?"
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, it's bread. He put BrendoMan.
Oh.
BrendoMan.
For the BrendoMan. That's like a screamo
with washboard. I like that. So yeah, it was a cool show. I think I liked the Mike Kerr Band page from BrendoMan All Star or from Radio BrendoMan page on Facebook, but I definitely tagged him in the pictures we posted on there. So if you want to look it up, you can check it out from there.
Yeah.
Oh, and they hooked us up with CDs too. So
yeah, thank you.
Thanks for that too.
I gotta put it in my car.
And I passed out some stickers. So
nice.
Well, mostly to Matt, but also to a couple of people. So.
All right. Well, Adventures of Unemployed Brendo. I mean, we've been doing our hikes. We found a bunch of cool trails in the what is that, like Ukaipa Regional Park area?
Yeah. And then the hills, behind it
there's like there's like a hill. It's called something.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know.
Whatever that is over there. And there's more. Like we found.
Well, we found a bunch of because we would go on a trail and it would lead to more trails, or we'd see other trails. Oh, we found a tunnel.
The kids were like, I'm scared.
The kids got freaked out, but I'm like, let's go in there.
It was very dark, and there were definitely animals that had gone in there at some point.
Well, we got to get a flashlight. I think we should do a little exploring.
Check it out.
But definitely, Matthew's got to take us to...
Oh, yeah, that tunnel. But there's a lot. Like I was saying in my sales pitch to get you to move here, there's a lot of cool stuff to explore around here. We're in a rich area. We haven't even touched all of it yet. There's
so that's
tons
exciting.
of so that's been fun.
Looking forward to more walking once you guys get back.
Yeah, we had a rough day today. We won't go into that. We've had enough bathroom talk, but yeah, we had some kids sick today. So
yeah. See, that's the other thing. Like when you're, because that's where the dedication of being a parent. I can't do that. Because when your kid's sick, it basically you have to. You're there through it all. You got to be there for them.
Fortunately, this was not a contagious type sick. It was more of a infirmity, I suppose I would call, or affirmity. Anyway.
But yeah, so that's been fine. I met with the lady for the training program. She gave me another list of stuff to do.
But it sounds like now you're meeting with I'm
meeting with an admissions counselor from the school.
So maybe it's
just to see my options, and then I got to report back to the lady, and I got to fill out some more stuff. Right. I got to do a FAFSA, so I got to get my W-2. That hasn't come yet, so I'm waiting for that. And
you have at least started getting paid, right?
I have started getting paid.
So that's good.
And then I immediately had to pay some financial obligations.
Well,
then I also got this Time Warner Cable thing, which that's not happening. They're trying to charge me all the install fees because basically what happened was I did the home install and it didn't work. And so I called them and they're like, oh, well, it's because we need to install a tap line. And I'm like, well, you guys aren't going to charge me for that because they're like, oh, no, it's because that's on our end. And then I get this bill for, my internet's supposed to be $70 a month. And this bill is for $181.
Yeah.
And then there's all these charges for the installs.
This one is my favorite. They charge you for the Easy Connect rescue trip.
Yeah.
What's that?
What the heck is
$30 for an Easy Connect rescue trip.
When I didn't, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
And a trip charge on top of it.
And a trip charge. Like, 100, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to basically call and yell at Time Warner Cable for a bit.
So dumb.
At some point this week.
And the $50 for the install. Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't envy you that.
So that's what I'm dealing with, and we already talked about Puke Fest. And I'm still in the process of cleaning up Puke Fest.
You had to like convince me. It took like a little bit of convincing for me to even come over to now. I'm like, okay, how long has it been? Was there barf on anything right now? Where's the splash zone?
That's in my room, and
going over there.
I cleaned the bathroom like thoroughly.
I believe it.
I scrubbed the floors.
I'm not going in there, but I
scrubbed the toilet because I had to get rid of that smell.
Well, the good thing is
because it smelled kind of like pizza, but like a horrible version of pizza. So I really don't know if it's gonna be a while before I eat pizza again.
Well, definitely not Pizza Hut.
Well, not Pizza Hut, but Pizza Hut, pizza period.
Oh my God.
Right now, just thinking about it. So, because like even when like in my room last night, I would smell like it smells like gross pizza, pukeza. But it had like a distinct Italian seasoning smell.
With barfaroni cheese.
It's like puke with lots of oregano. So.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it was gross.
Good thing is when I walked in tonight, it didn't smell like barf. So
That's
you've
good.
done at least a good enough job that the general.
I haven't even used the Febreze yet.
That stuff worked well though.
I got the Febreze.
It's a good odor cover. But it also supposedly you can scrub it in and stuff.
I've been scrubbing. I got a freaking brush, and I've been like. But part of me, I think at the beginning, I was just kind of swirling the puke around because I didn't have any paper towels, and I used real towels, and I scooped it up as much as I could, and then just immediately put them in the wash.
Oh gosh, you're gonna make me barf now. Just thinking of scooping barf.
Well, you've had to do that in your.
I know, but it's still horrible. Don't believe me. I've done plenty of sympathetic barfing just because I've done it with kids.
This is one of the times where I'm like sometimes like I love being alone, and then other times where I'm like, I really wish somebody was here to take care of me right now. I'm like, because I'm still sick, and I'm like, and then I have to clean up my own puke while I'm like really sick.
Let me tell you, that was a wake up call when I realized like being married.
You gotta pick up.
I have to clean up my wife's barf. That's gross. It doesn't happen very often. But like that's kind of your thing, and I mean, what kind of a jerk would I be if I'm like, no, you clean it up. You're
And let me tell you, when you're sick, because I remember, because I had to go to the 99 cents, so I waited. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna puke anymore, and this was like 10:30ish, so the puke was just sitting there for a while because I'm like, I don't know, and so then I'm in the 99 cent store and I'm like. There's some rumblings, and I'm like, oh god. I'm like, and then the lady just looks at me. She's like, not having a good day. I'm like, no, because I had like, because you can tell just from my purchases, it was stuff, like cleaning stuff, Pepto, and like Gatorade, and she's like having a
puke on yourself. Yeah. The funny part is, when I met up with Matt Zappa out there at the show, he's like, again, he had like some things he wanted to ask about, and he's like. So one of the common themes I see on your shows, you guys talk about bathroom humor. I've got some barf stories for you. And then he launched into some of his. It was great. He had some good stuff. So hopefully we fulfilled that part of the show for this week.
Remember the time I was sick in college and I made you go buy me cheeseburgers?
Go buy me cheeseburgers. Oh my gosh. Because it was the 25-cent hamburger day.
It was 39 cent cheeseburgers. Yeah.
That's what it was. And because they had a hamburger day and a cheeseburger day, and the limit was 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how many do you want? And you're like, just give me 10. I'm like, I thought you're sick. And you're like, I'll get some now. I'm saving for later. And I'm like, all right, I'll get you burgers. So I brought you burgers, and I think you finished them all off. I'm like,
totally finished them all.
You're gonna barf all over the place.
I don't think I was puke sick. I think I was just like, I think I had a cold or something.
So, give me cheeseburgers.
That was because you're like, do you need me to get you medicine or anything? I was like, no,
cheeseburger. I don't want to miss 39-cent cheeseburger day. That was like your biggest.
Well, we were just talking about that on popsicles because I had told the Flex Point story. And Derek even said he's like, wait, because Benson was laughing really hard. He's like, that's crazy. And Derek's like, you have to understand, this is young Brendo, and this is the age of 29 cent Hamburger Day. Like,
yeah. I mean, don't get me
you
wrong.
said you were gonna take me to
I love
McDonald's.
29-cent Hamburger Day and 39-cent Cheeseburger Day, but
Because we were talking about great Brendo freakouts,
that was definitely
and
one
I
of
was
them.
talking about. I was like at the top because I guess I pounded on the Taco Bell.
That was pretty good too. Well, it's funny again hearing David because I forget like which of my siblings were around, but when he came on, like he was there for that. He remembers the like.
Yeah,
who is this
it was
guy?
crazy hearing like an outside opinion on the Taco Bell story.
Give me my burritos.
Which is also because like people always think we're exaggerating, so to have a third person to be like, nope, that's exactly
pretty
like
much it.
we need to have Janelle's point of view from the Flex Point story.
Yeah.
Just a third.
She was definitely there live for that.
So was Amber.
So.
All right. Well, book corner. So I finished The Return of the Great Brain.
Sweet.
He definitely returned.
He came back, but he had to like fly under the radar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Finished that, and I finished the first Discworld book, The Color of Magic.
Oh.
What?
That's funny.
What, do you think it was something else?
I did. I was thinking of something else. I'm like, oh, okay.
What do you think it was?
Well, now that I'm thinking of it, it's not. That William Goldman wrote a book called The Color of Light,
Yeah.
and he wrote Magic.
Yeah.
So I saw The Color of Magic, and I was thinking William Goldman, and I'm like, oh, you read a book? Oh,
No, this is The Color of Magic. It's the first Discworld book. It's awesome. You would love it.
Yeah.
Because it's like Hitchhiker's Guide, but like more. It's like a lot of wordplay, a lot of just real goofy, fun
are you gonna
stuff.
dive in for 36 books?
I got the second. I already reserved the second one.
You got it from the library.
Yes.
You had them off the library.
But it was really it was really funny.
Right.
I think you would like it a lot, especially if you like Hitchhiker's Guide and that sort of thing. Terry Pratchett. It was awesome.
All right.
And it's amazing. And then still reading Wizard's First Rule, but I can't read it as much because I was reading that on my phone. Now I have the Kindle app, which doesn't support the docs, but I do have Sherlock Holmes, so I did start that.
Well, that's good.
The book that I'm reading, the two books I'm reading right now are from the library. I got Deadbeat, which is the next Dresden Files book.
Okay.
And it's really good so far. I just started it, but like, his half brother, who is half vampire, is living with him, and the complications of that are like already showing. So it's pretty cool. And as I've said before, if you're not familiar with Dresden Files, just imagine like supernatural detective type. Cool. They're really good. They're really cool. And then we got and then I just started The Great Brain Does It Again. He already did his first scheme.
What was the first
one?
The
Buried Treasure.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where he gets all the kids to
What drives me crazy is that what's the John?
Yeah, it's the brother.
He never learns. No. He's always like, I got him this time.
Oh, finally I get it.
And then TD does the same thing. That like, if I was John, I would know never ever. Don't question him. Don't bet him. Don't accuse him of being anything. Because the moment because he'd always be like, oh, you're a blackmailer. He's like. You're like, mom and dad will be so disappointed when I tell them you're a blackmailer. Yeah. And plus, there's a way to logic out of that.
Right, he should be turning that back on him. Like, oh, who's the blackmailer?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's super. I've really enjoyed this series.
It's just really funny that he always gets sucked in.
And then he always also like whenever Tom gets in trouble, and the parents are like, but you were like an accomplice or whatever, so he gets in trouble too, even though he wasn't even the one that was pulling the thing.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Cool.
And, yeah.
Well,
You finished The Great Brain.
I finished The Great Brain Does It Again. Since we've been swapping, we kind of had to alternate like that. But it's super good. I won't say too much more about it. I'm actually almost done with the final book in the series, The Great Brain is Back. And this is the one that they published posthumously from his notes.
But you give it a thumbs up?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a little less... Like most of them, even though they're, it's little separate vignettes, there's kind of a flow to the story. Mm-hmm. This one's a little more disjointed. It's a little more just almost like a collection of short stories.
Mm-hmm.
with kind of a thread through it, but not as much. But it's still really good. They're good stories. It's definitely written by him, but you can kind of see how the editor stitched it together a little bit more. But definitely worth reading, and yeah, it's pretty good. So when you're done with that, I'll hand you that one over there. I'm also almost done with the Enchanted Castle. It's super good.
Yeah.
Once because I kind of started a little bit and then set it aside and read other stuff, and now once I'm into it, it's great. And you can definitely see the influence
planted
there.
The seeds.
And not that the others are ripoff or anything, but
also just children's fantasy period. And again, this is E. Nesbitt has been cited by Tolkien and J.K. Rowling and pretty much every including even James Riley is talking about this going all the way.
Well, it's amazing because you never know. It's published in 1907, I want to say, something like that. And you never know how that's going to read. But this, aside from a little bit of more formal language, it could come out right now. It's amazing how good it is.
Yeah, sometimes I'm scared to read old books.
Yeah, because you don't know, am I going to be trudging through? But you could pick it up.
Because some of the books I had to read in English class, I think that's what messed me up.
Yeah.
I think that's what messes a lot of people up.
Yeah. Because if you're not having fun doing it, but it is seriously. The only thing is that there's a little bit of there are a couple times you'll come across phrasing that you're that's a little archaic.
Remember the one that I wanted to punch things was? Did you ever have to read The Sound and the Fury?
Mm-mm.
I know people love that book, but
which one? What is what's the?
It's Fitzgerald or I don't know, and it's told from 4 different people's point of view, and it's the story of a family, and I just it was a bunch of pompous blowhard. It's probably how you feel watching some indie movies, and I'm nobody actually likes this. I remember asking that in English class out loud. I'm come on,
it's not really good, right?
Because everybody's talking about it, I'm you guys are so full of crap. I hated that book.
Grade.
I didn't even really like The Great Gatsby that much.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I will be honest, I don't understand why everyone. Historically, I guess, but now it's kind of.
And then I know Jerry's gonna hate me, but some Dickens.
See, I really like Dickens.
I like Dickens, but I don't know. I forgot which one we read first, and I hated it. Nah, because I like Great Expectations. I don't remember.
I don't know.
But I remember it was maybe. I just remember I'm bored now.
I guess, it's taste, whatever, but I understand, though.
The first book, the book that I read that I loved, that was old-timey, Scarlet Pimpernel.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's a superhero book.
Yeah.
He is a superhero. Because at first I'm wait, what? This takes place in the French Revolution and the aristocracy? And I'm ugh. But it's this dude is a freaking superhero. And there's this totally crazy, the love story.
Yeah.
Because he has to be this boring, guy, and his wife doesn't like him, but then when he's a Scarlet Pimpernel, she's in love with him, and he wants to show his true self to her, but he can't because he puts so many people's lives at stake. It's this tragedy, and then he has to rescue her, and it's just oh, dude, there's 4 or 5 of them.
I've only read it.
There's one called I Will Repay. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Baroness Orczy.
Well, others old ones is Jules Verne stuff. I love Jules Verne stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to. It's not always modern language, but still that stuff holds up for me very well. And I can't. Kidnapped and Treasure Island. Help me out.
Robert Louis Stevenson. Never read those.
Those ones. Can be challenging, but so good. Treasure Island in particular. Anyway, so there's good stuff, but also I understand that you're being wary. But I'm telling you, this modern kids could read this and they wouldn't even know the difference. So it's really, really good.
All right. No new movies?
No new movies. I haven't.
When are we going to see Paddington?
We need to.
Everybody said it's amazing.
It's great. I need to see it.
I got to see it. We should see it before you go. But when will we do it?
We don't have time to do that.
Okay. On DVD on demand corner. So we got WWE Network. Like I said, I watched the Royal Rumble. In preparing for the Royal Rumble, I made it through. I watched every single Royal Rumble match starting from 2014 all the way to 1988.
Wow. What was the best?
Man, there's so many good ones. I would say, again, it's difficult. The Chris Benoit one was amazing, but again, it's Chris Benoit.
But it's difficult.
92, there you go, Espinoza. 92 was great because it was the highest stakes. The only time they've ever done this, it was for the WWF Championship because it was held up at the time.
Okay.
And so the winner of the Royal Rumble won the title. Starting in 93, they started where you won a shot at the title at WrestleMania.
Right.
92, because from 88 to 91, it was just for bragging rights. Like, you didn't get anything. 92, you get the title. Ric Flair, it was his, he just started in the WWF, and he went from number 3. He was in there for 62 minutes.
Wow.
And, again, I don't care if you, dismiss wrestling as fake. Being in a ring and you're yes, in the Royal Rumble there are times when they're resting a little bit, and there's times where they're just kind of punching each other. But I was watching him. He was doing all his Flair moves, which involve he does these crazy flops off the top rope. He does all kinds of stuff, and he did that consistently for over an hour. So and I'm just how most people would be dead,
right?
Just not even be able to function.
Yeah.
For that. So, and the hot lights, exactly. We were just talking about the hot lights
up on stage. I mean, that's huge.
And no one's until you've been up on a stage with those lights. I didn't realize until I started doing stuff at Smodcastle, and those ones weren't even that, but it's still, after a while, it's man.
Yeah.
It's so...
With the Spivvies, again, being vintage, they used to wear matching ties, and they used to say you could tell how good the show was by how far down the tie the sweat line would go. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it gets hot up there.
Yeah. So, and again, in a wrestling ring, so add that on top of everything.
That's just bouncing around playing guitar, let alone... Yeah.
So I would have to say I'd up there 92 was great. Then there were other really exciting ones I don't know, there's so many. It was great. The Royal Rumble was a good match. So then after watching it and then watching this Royal Rumble, which was kind of disappointing, we already talked about that, but it was still an overall event. The championship match was one of the best matches I've seen in WWE in a long, long time. So I give that thumbs up. And before Daniel Bryan announced his comeback, I had assumed that Roman Reigns was going to win. So I'm slightly disappointed, but whatever. And then they came. So I'm excited because the network has a new show. I'm probably going to watch it after this
tonight.
So they have a new show called WWE 24, and they actually filmed backstage. It's like they're going backstage, full on backstage. Cool. And the first series that they did was at WrestleMania 30, which I was at. But they show backstage, they're gonna show what happened, because Undertaker, during the Undertaker Brock Lesnar match where Undertaker lost, he had a streak of 21-0 at WrestleMania, which again, think about that.
Yeah. That's
crazy. Just the fact that he appeared in 21 right. WrestleManias. Forget about the fact that he was undefeated.
Right.
Just the fact that he's been around that long and he did that. WrestleMania 7 was his first one, and I was there, and I remember watching WrestleMania 7 and then being there in person to see him wrestle Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. It's just one of those things I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm watching this.
Right.
And then he lost, and it was a huge deal. But he legit had serious concussions, because Brock Lesnar, if you don't know, Brock Lesnar is a giant 300-pound beast of a legit NCAA wrestling champion, Ultimate Fighting Championship champion. You were at the Expendables.
Yeah.
Randy Couture was there. You saw Randy Couture, giant big dude. Brock Lesnar knocked him out. And then Undertaker gets in the ring with him, and he does his moves, which, yes, they are not designed to actually hurt, but they still hurt.
Right.
So Undertaker has a concussion, and Paul Heyman told this story, but now we're actually going to see it. As soon as he made it through the curtain, he was on the ground, like just couldn't, like passed out, had no idea what was going on. Vince McMahon, and this is also crazy, left WrestleMania, his big event. This is WrestleMania 30, just to make sure the Undertaker was okay. Went with him to the hospital.
Wow.
So they're going to show that. Like, they showed a little clip where Vince McMahon is in the gorilla position, which is right before the curtain, named after Gorilla Monsoon, because that's where he used to sit.
Okay.
And he's in the gorilla position, basically yelling, so we need some help here. And then they cut. But they're going to show it. I'm like, I want to see this. And just all the behind, because that's the stuff that most of, like, especially WWF, like, up until recently, they never showed any of that stuff. So the fact that they're doing this, that's pretty cool. So I'm excited.
Why is it 24?
Because I guess it's like 24/7, like 24 hours.
That's like, I thought it was gonna be like 24, like.
No, because it's like a 24-hour.
So it's gonna show them all day long. Like,
yeah, maybe.
They're gonna get kidnapped like 3 times throughout one day.
Well, I think it's like a 24-hour period. Like, I think each episode might be. I don't know, but I think it's because this whole season. I think this whole season is surrounding WrestleMania 30.
Okay.
But they're gonna do other things. I just think it's pretty awesome that they're doing that. I'm excited, and. I think the 30 for 30 on ESPN is just because that's the brand.
That's the name.
Because now that there's more than 30 of them.
I don't know.
Well, so that's what I've been watching on the network. And then Parenthood, holy crap.
Yeah.
So it's the second to last episode. Everybody on that show should get a freaking Emmy. But most of all, Ray Romano.
Really?
He is amazing on that show. Because he plays a guy where he's basically realized that because one of the kids on the show has Asperger's, and through his interactions with his kid, he realizes, I have Asperger's.
Huh.
And so, and there are a lot of things in his personality that I can completely relate to. As I've said before in the show, I've had doctors tell me that I probably have Asperger's. I still don't believe it because. I've taken the test like 3 times,
right.
And they're like, you are right on the bubble.
Huh.
So I don't know, but anyway, so watching him,
show.
But he's amazing. Some of his monologues, especially his last one where he's talking to, I always call her Lauren Graham because she's Lorelai Gilmore to me. But anyways, so he's talking to her and like. There's a whole big drama going on with Coach Zeke Braverman, the Jason Robards character, if you're familiar with the movie. He's debating on whether or not to have a second heart surgery. So there's this whole thing like might lose my dad, and just this whole thing. I don't know. It's just a lot of emotions. And Mae Whitman is amazing. Oh, they're all so good. It's such a good show. And
really, her?
It's so good. But yeah, her. She's great.
I know. I was making a reference for those that didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
you're making an Arrested Development joke. I'm sure she gets that.
I'm sure she does.
All the time.
But that's like a really high honor because she's amazing.
But yeah, I just love that show, and there's one more episode, and I don't know how I'm gonna deal.
Like series
finale. Sad.
All right.
Then I've been catching up on SNL, but I'm still way behind.
Which one?
I just finished the Martin Freeman episode.
Oh, okay. There's some good stuff in that.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about the Lord of the Rings office.
Yeah.
It was great. But, yeah. And then Agent Carter, freaking awesome.
I gotta get
so
on
good.
That so I don't lose it.
Yeah, get on the train now.
Got to.
It's good.
I barely had time to do anything this week.
And then Bob's Burgers. Did you watch? Oh, I guess
I'm
it just
a couple behind.
Oh, dude. So last night's episode, one of the best musical numbers they've ever done.
Oh, I love their songs.
So Bob gets a spot at the community garden, and first of all, he talks. He does the whole, when he makes inanimate objects talk. He talks to his plants and his gardening tools. It's amazing.
Oh.
And then it's also a Louise-centric episode. So Logan is back.
Oh, nice.
And it's her fighting with Logan.
Oh.
It's amazing.
I need to catch up.
It's really great.
Catch up.
There's some like great Gene quotes. It's a great episode, and I love that show so much. And then Parks and Rec. Holy crap!
Haven't even started this season.
This new season is incredible. Already some of the best Andy moments, some of the best Ron Swanson moments. I've cried a couple times. It's really good because they start off where like Ron and Leslie at some point between when the last season ended, so it's been 3 years,
right?
Because it's 2017 in the show universe. So at some point they had a falling out and they are not speaking. They're not friends anymore. So through this, it's really good. I don't want to spoil anything.
All right. Well,
it's so good.
I definitely need to watch
Oh my god, it's amazing. So good. Love it. Also, in the second episode, the Werner Herzog cameo is one of the best things ever on television.
All right. I definitely need to get on that. We've been watching more Mini Project.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, it has hit its stride. There's 2 episodes of Kevin Smith. Like, he has, like...
I talked to him about that.
It's hilarious.
Because I remember I'm like, wait, what?
No, it's really... I'm telling you... Okay, if you got to give it time. Like, yeah.
Did you ever see the Joey that he was on?
No.
It was really dumb.
I watched like one episode of Joey, and I'm like, oh god.
That's the only episode of Joey I watched was the one that Kevin was
on. But no, he's really funny on it. There's a lot of like, I don't want to spoil it, but there's like some good fat jokes in there and stuff. You know, like his like whole thing. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, I don't think this will spoil too much.
Is he playing himself?
He's playing himself. He's Kevin Smith. Because anyway. There's one of the episodes he's on an airplane with her.
Oh my god!
And it's awesome. Like you gotta watch, even just to watch that. But like Seth Rogen and James Franco, like every episode has amazing guests. Rob Hubel is just on one. Like,
did you see the interviews on Netflix?
I did. I haven't watched it yet, but yes.
Oh, you guys gotta watch it.
Anyway, I'm not kidding. I mean, I know you got a lot of stuff and whatever, but if you ever get a chance to. The first season, like it grows on you, and by the second season, like I'm hooked. It's awesome. So that's what we've only watched a few episodes this week, but it's really good. So,
Steve says I'm gonna watch WWE 24 now and listen to the podcast.
You talked so much about this other thing, you got him off of our show.
That's okay. I know he'll go back and listen.
Thanks for hanging out in the chat, Steve.
All right. And then on Netflix. Specifically, I've been watching Bob's Burgers. Yeah. Also, because like sometimes it's pop in and watch an episode.
Go back to.
And then I've been watching Comedy Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bob's Burgers, I just watched the episode of Kristen Schaal.
Yeah.
Where she's got the Girl Scout cookies. And like one of them's like diarrhea flavor.
Yeah.
And then Reggie's like it tastes accurate.
Yep, it's accurate. Yeah.
She's like, we got some new edgy flavors.
It's great.
And then like because that's also the one where they're all toys.
Yeah.
And like that maybe we could have that Jessica Alba action figure. They're like, no, she's creepy.
That show's so great. Oh, like just the larger thing that they do within the shows within the show. Wait, so is that season 2 still?
Yeah.
Oh, you got so many good ones to go. Oh, okay.
It's like episode 16.
Yeah.
And then I just watched the Rashida Jones one.
Oh, also very good.
Yeah.
All of them are good.
It's all good. Because that's the one where Horatio Sands is like that, like the car guy, and he's like killed a lot of people. And like, wait, what are you talking about? He's like, well, euthanasia type thing. They go in the trucks, the cars that I smashed with my monster truck. And they're like, wait, you're a serial killer. We need to stop you. He's like, you just try and stop me. But Horatio Sands lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he's not even recognizable.
At first I'm like, wait, who is that? And I'm like, that's Horatio.
He was on, I feel like he was like early Parks and Rec or something. We saw him.
Yeah.
When he like at first lost a bunch, but yeah.
And then I'm glad that he was on the show because he's on. I've listened to like multiple episodes of the podcast that he's on, and he's always hilarious on the podcast. He's really funny.
Yeah.
But you should listen if you have to listen to the podcast.
I know.
Like the podcast is like sometimes it's even better than the TV show because like some of the stuff that they can do because it's audio only.
Right. It's on my list.
It's so funny. All right, then I had to continue my Addams Family thing because of the pinball game, and I watched Addams Family Values. Great movie.
Still good.
Little Crumholes, man.
Yeah.
Like it's great.
Little Davy.
Yeah. it's and then like again those kids, Christina Ricci, man. Like she's so great.
So are you gonna watch the one that like when
no
Tim Curry steps in?
No. Because that was like there was no original people.
Right.
Everybody. They even got a different Lurch. They couldn't even get the same Lurch.
What's Lurch guy doing? I don't know.
I don't know.
Part of this. Even Thing was different.
It was a different thing. But like Raul Julia, it's tragic because he is amazing.
Yeah.
And now I want to watch more stuff. I even want to watch Street Fighter again.
Just to see him again.
He's so good. He's so funny.
Yeah.
But Addams Family is really funny. Joan Cusack is amazing.
Yep.
She's great. And then Storage Wars is back on Netflix. And even though it's like a best of, I've already watched like 4 episodes.
Yeah, well, when I came in, you're watching one that I know you've seen before. I've seen like 4 times.
the one where Barry finds the oil helmets.
Yeah.
But I did just watch the one again where Brandy and Jared found the Mego figures.
Mm-hmm.
And, like they had like $10,000 worth of Mego figures. Can you imagine getting a storage locker and finding those Mego figures? Oh, Amigos. Amigo. They're Amigos. Because remember that guy claimed that because there's the Captain Action. They're like the same.
Right.
But these were like
the guy that duped me.
Yeah. But see, this wasn't even. These were like in the box Amigos. Like they had the Spider, because there's a Spider-Man that there's only like 5 of them.
Right.
And freaking they had one. That's where I'm like, is that a plant?
That had to be.
Because like, if you found those, although I don't know, there are stories people find like Walt from Comic Book Men. They went to a yard sale in Red Bank, and some lady just had a bunch of them sitting out there to the point where Walt like thought it was some kind of trap. And he's like, "You're gonna sell me these?" And she sold them for like $10 a piece. And he's like, "You're gonna sell me these for $10?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, and at first he felt a little bad, but then they bought everything that they had, and there's a bunch of Amigos. I'm like, those are worth so much money. They're like some of the only, because you know how every kid's like, you're like, oh, my toys are like super valuable. Amigos are like truly the valuable toys, like because those things were like meant to be destroyed by children. So the people that save them
are probably like disturbed, right?
Yeah.
What kind of kid?
It's just funny that they found those. And it always seems like they buy some crap locker and then there's like something that like saves them. One of them though was like a breathalyzer kit. And then another where because we had just watched the one, because this is the same one when they go to Long Beach.
Yeah.
And they found the Victorola.
Right.
I'm like, what are the odds of that just being in a storage locker? I mean, but then I think about my store. What if I had just like something happened and I couldn't pay my and there was a bunch of awesome stuff in there. And then I think about these, because there's one where it was clearly these people's entire household and all their clothing. I'm like, those people. There's some people that like, but in order for your storage unit to go down, don't you? Isn't it like 90 days?
Oh, I think it's more than that.
So like that means they didn't pay. But I'm like, what happened to this family that like all their belongings just got?
Because my parents
all
used to do that a
lot. That their belongings are just getting thrown on. I'm like, those are people's clothes.
There's nothing in here for me.
So then I think about those poor bastards. But
can you imagine like the people that like are watching it and going like, oh,
that's our stuff.
I never thought of that before.
They could do a show about those people. I couldn't pay my storage.
Storage Wars 24, where they go behind the scenes to see what those people respond.
And then they let them like go head to head. Like you get to fight Barry for your stuff.
Oh, dude.
Also, like, I don't know, watching some like, because I was behind Dave for a while, but there's one where he just like. Because it's the one where Barry brings the psychics, and he just has a full-on tantrum. He starts flipping off the camera, and he just takes off.
Well, once he like had a hissy in real life, then you're like, all right, really? Like,
because he has hissies quite a bit.
Right. Well, but even then you could like chalk it
but
up.
Then they would show.
For the camera.
But then they showed. Yeah, because then he had the whole thing in real life, and you're like, okay, so because they would do things where I'm like, well, maybe he's not such a bad guy. Where like he donated a bunch of stuff,
or he helps out.
And then when he talked about like how his brothers basically like double crossed him and and that whole thing. Although I wonder what the real story behind that is.
Yeah, what is the brother's story?
And I don't know. I want to believe, because like look at Billy Mitchell. Like we met Billy. I want Dave to be Billy Mitchell, but I don't think he is. I think he really is. And then it confirmed it when he went off on Lori and just said some of the most sexist things I've ever heard in my life. Like you still haven't seen that episode,
I haven't seen it yet, but...
dude. Honestly, like I'm surprised that Dan didn't like go after. Because like if I saw on camera, even though if I wasn't there and I saw somebody talking to my wife like that, I would find where they lived and like punch them in the face.
Well, once he did it in real life, then you're like, okay, he really is. Because the whole thing like, oh, it's fake, it's not real. Like,
and now he's back on the show.
TV, yeah, and then he went back on it, so like he's just like weaseling it out of it. I don't know.
All right. Well, it says here you've been watching Adventure Time.
Oh yeah, Netflix has got Adventure Time. That's been my in the background while I'm getting stuff done this week, and it's really good. And I haven't actually never watched it in order from the beginning. There's not like a whole lot of.
Do your kids watch it?
No, not yet.
You don't think they're?
It's a little. Well, I was like part of it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna preview it and make sure, because I've watched it before, but not like thinking of that because the kids were younger, and then I was like, yeah, it's a little. I think it would freak them out a little bit. Because there's plenty of, like, summoning demons and everyone becomes zombies and they fight. And it's awesome, but my kids are going to freak out.
Maybe a couple years?
That. Yeah, give it a couple years. I love
Although, think about some of the crazy cartoons that we watch.
I know. But the thing is, there's tons of stuff they like now.
Your kids are pretty sensitive to scary stuff.
They are. They get freaked out. I want to be able to sleep.
What caused that?
Oh, my gosh. The other night, I had the worst. Okay, so I didn't realize this. But at some point in the middle of the night, Audrey had climbed into our bed, and but she didn't climb up like next to us. She laid down, so I was like on my back, and she was like in the middle, like she had climbed up like between my legs. Her head was like resting kind of on my chest, but I didn't know this, right? So I'm in the middle of the night, and Janelle like she flips over, and her foot like kicks Audrey's foot somehow when she flipped over, and so Audrey like did this thing where she like woke up and wiggled around, and it was on me, and so I woke up with something like on me. I was like, and then Audrey starts crying. She thought I was mad at her, and I was like yelling at her because I was so freaking out. She's like, I'm sorry, Daddy, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm not mad. I just was scared because I didn't know who was on me and what happened. And there was this whole it's like 3 a.m. in our room. If there was a camera, if someone had a camera and watched it, it would have been the most awesome thing. Because all of a sudden everyone's and then Janelle's like, what's happening? What's happening? Why are you yelling? And I'm like,
well, see, I know Janelle does because I've seen Janelle. Why are you jumping on the bed?
And so all of a sudden it's all quiet, and all of a sudden, it scared me to death though, because she was like right here, and all of a sudden I feel something on my chest, like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go. That's a night at the Vecchia's. That's why they're not watching Adventure Time just yet.
All right, video games.
What you got?
Just the usual.
Yeah.
Been playing some more Tomodachi Life, Zelda.
Nice.
Still, I'm in the wins.
Working on
one. It's tricky.
It's tricky. There's a
lot of puzzles.
You got to think about using that wall.
Yeah.
Because that totally you have to think about it in a different way than any other.
Yeah. So it adds this whole other element.
Yeah.
To it. There's the wall, and then there's like the jump puzzles with the wand, like the jump thing, and
because there's times I remember I'd be stuck and I'd be like, oh yeah, wall.
Yeah.
I forgot that's a thing.
I put it down for a little bit, and I'm like thinking about it,
yeah.
And then like, oh yeah, you can go on the wall. So then I would go on the wall, and then So then I've been playing Disney Magic World a little bit.
Any more stickers?
No more stickers.
Okay.
Been doing Just Dance.
Nice.
Been doing Grand Theft Auto 5.
Cool.
Since that's been in there, I haven't been playing WWE 2K15. Actually, this week I really didn't play that much video games because I was watching all those Royal Rumble matches.
Barfing.
That was only on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And then Back to the Future episode 1, I made some more progress.
Nice.
In that. I'm now helping Doc Brown in the 1930s, so like 18-year-old Doc Brown, make his invention so that I can use it to bust out current Doc Brown out of jail, because he's in jail in the 1920s.
Nice.
So, and you're fighting Kid Tannen, and he's like the mob boss Tannen.
Kid Tannen.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because he's like, imagine Prohibition era, like Al Capone style. So it's pretty cool.
Sweet.
And then hardcore Clicker Heroes. I broke through my highest I'd gotten, and now I'm all the way up to like 200 levels.
Nice.
Because, yeah.
It's a lot of levels.
Yep. What about you?
Well, did I already talk about when we beat The Hobbit?
Not on here. You just told me.
I told you. So,
yeah.
So we play in Lego The Hobbit, and we get to the end. Well, we get to the part where Smaug, he's awakened.
Going down to Lake
Town. And they're like, what have we done? That's the end of the game. They only did the first
that's
two
why I was
movies
like,
in
the game came out like a while ago.
Yeah.
And the third movie hadn't come out.
So apparently what their story is, they're going to do DLC for the third movie. Or I'm sure they're going to make us just buy another, the complete story.
Yeah, because Harry Potter, like pretty much a lot of Lego games, it's multiple series. Because Harry Potter was 2 games.
Well, I bought Indiana Jones, and then I bought Indiana Jones 2, the complete series, whatever. Star Wars did that. So I'm going to be buying another Lego Hobbit, basically. It's fun. It's great.
Luke loves those Lego games.
He does. Oh, man. And we still have, even though we got to the end of the story,
and
we're like
I love
30%.
that you've totally rubbed off on him as far as the completionist.
Oh, yeah. We're at like 30%.
Because I've seen him where I'm like, Luke, I thought you beat the game. He's like, no, I'm getting all the things. I got to get all the things.
Yep, that's my boy. So,
because he's still doing like the Lego game
one.
Still
I have not helped him with that. Like a couple of times I'll help him like beat a tough boss or something, but 99% of it, it's all him. And I think he's at like, I don't know, 93% or something.
Kid is 4.
And he's 4. Yep.
It's pretty amazing.
So
proud. You're proud dad.
I couldn't be more proud. My kids. It's funny. We were at Walmart the other day, and my brother Matthew was there, and we were killing time because Janelle was taking a while to get there, and we were flipping through the posters. They have all those posters that are like on display, and Luke was going through like there's Marvel stuff, so he could name like, there's that superhero and that superhero and that, and then there's whatever cartoons. He knew like probably 80% of the different characters in there, and Matthew's like, I didn't know any of those. I didn't know any of this stuff, so I've trained him well. Anyway, we've been playing more Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. We've only got one more mirror shard, so we're like right at the end of the game. So it's been fun. Lots of Street Pass. Okay, I've been playing a bunch of Master Reboots. I started it with you.
Yeah, that game's crazy.
It's awesome. It's funny. It's a download.
You say you got to where it was way scarier than when we were playing.
When we first started, it's like a puzzle. It's kind of like
creepy,
Myst, but a little creepier feeling and stuff, but not too bad.
Yeah.
And we played through a couple levels.
Because you're going back into your memories.
Yeah, well,
and you're solving these puzzles.
People that have died.
Okay.
And their memories are kept. Their whole personalities are kept on this basically giant computer thing.
Okay, yeah.
And so you're going into someone else's memories. So we didn't get to the ghost part.
Ugh.
Because apparently there's like these computer ghost things, and it's like the memories have been corrupted, and so you're trying to go in and save the memory is the idea. And so like we did this one level where there's a school, and you go down and you open the lockers, and there's like hidden stuff you're supposed to find. You find these little artifacts that tell the story. But apparently I didn't open this one locker. Because Matthew's like, oh, look, there's a locker there. Go open that. And you open it, and it's first person, and I'm holding it right in my face, and this ghost thing jumps out and like grabs you and starts shaking you and the whole thing. And it's like, and Matthew and I just start screaming. Like, we're just screaming. And like hitting the button trying to do things. And Janelle's like in the background. She's like, what the heck is going on out there? And like, because we've a couple times, and so we're like going down the hall, and every time something jumps out, the scariest one is you going through a, well, there's a couple, but one of them is an abandoned hospital, and it's all dark, and you have like a flashlight that only works like you get like 3 feet in front of you, and so you're like going down like hallways, and there's stuff like scattering by and jumping out at you, and then the other one is you're in an airplane, and the whole time there's like a ghost like pacing up and down the aisle, and you have to jump from aisle to aisle and hide, and she walks right by and looks, and if you're not in the shadows, she like jumps out and grabs you. Oh my gosh. And so we're screaming the whole time, and eventually Janelle came out with her camera and like video. We didn't know. She was like watching us, and we're like, And then she goes like, "Hey guys," and we're like, "Whoa!" So she got that on tape of us like freaking out. So anyway, but it's really fun. It's a really good game. It plays a lot like Myst, and it's really good. So I also started playing SteamWorld Dig, which is really awesome.
It's fun, right?
It's exactly like you described. It's like Metroid plus Dig Dug.
Yep.
Super cool. So I did that, and then I got a couple of the free games from Club Nintendo. A Kappa's Trail, which you haven't played yet.
Yeah.
It's really fun. The basic game mechanic is like you trace a trail for him to go, and he follows along, and you have to go through a bunch of obstacles and collect stuff. It's really fun. It's a fun game. And then I also got Bird and Beans, which is a real simple, kind of like puzzle action game thing.
It was a Wario World game, right?
So they did
WarioWare.
WarioWare. So it's like a standalone thing. It was cheap, it was free with the coins, and it's fun. Fun little thing.
Nice.
So yeah. But Master Reboot's on Wii U, but it's also on other stuff.
Yeah.
So if you like a good creepy game that'll freak you out a little bit, I want to make you play the hospital one. I want to see you do the hospital one. Because anyway, that's my games.
Cool. We need to start doing Nintendo Power again.
Yeah, we do.
Start bringing it.
That's the thing, because it used to be at my house, so just in my house.
Now you'll have to bring it over. Just bring it over. All right.
Guess we haven't done it in a bit.
Well, I think that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Feeling good?
Good. Gotta get up in the morning, so that's very good.
Oh. I guess you got your normal day.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow's dropping Janelle off day, so it's an early day.
And then you're going to Disneyland.
Then we're going to Disneyland, and then we're going to the James
When are you leaving to go to Disneyland?
Picking up Janelle after school.
Time's that?
2:45.
So do we have time to go check out that trail?
Yeah, I think so.
As long as it's not actually raining?
Well, yeah, depending on the rain, because it was raining pretty good.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see.
So pending on the rain, depending on the rain.
Because I want to check out. We found this cool path. It's like a more groomed path.
Yeah.
That goes all through.
Since it's rainy, it'll be better than going in the mud.
Because there's this one trail that's like you're actually like going pretty steep, and there's parts where there's like a fence, but there's other parts where it's not, and it's just like a sheer.
It's a drop.
Serious drop.
I'm surprised they don't have something there.
Because we were like, kids have to hold hands on this. Yeah. And they were complaining about it, especially Luke.
Yeah.
Luke is very, he only will hold your hand when he wants to.
Yeah, very independent.
And if you try to, tell him, he gets cranky.
Yeah. And then he'll do the thing where, I'm like, okay, hold my hand, it's steep, and then he'll go and trip, and then he's like, whoa! I'm like, told you to hold my hand, and that just makes it worse. So you just have to make him do it up front.
Yeah.
Because then he loses.
Although when you were holding his hand last time, he totally tripped and he saved it.
Yeah, that's right.
So he knows. But he still
doesn't
care.
He knows, but he's stubborn, so it doesn't matter.
He's a vecchio.
He's my boy.
But so we got that.
Yeah.
And then Disneyland on tomorrow, James Riley.
And then we're going to be recording a special episode for next week.
Special episode we'll be recording on Thursday.
Yes, but I don't know if we'll do a chat with that though.
Yeah.
We'll see, but probably
if
not.
Josh can record his end.
Yeah.
Then we can just do Skype or something.
Yeah. So anyway,
but you're going to need to bring your headphones.
I can do that.
And a splitter.
I got that. So we'll be doing a special episode. That'll be the next one. We're going to talk with Josh about Punky Brewster, as well as we're going to settle the bet. Yep.
And then you're going away.
Well, it's perfect because I have to do a week without Nintendo stuff.
That is not going to count
for
the week.
No, actually, it's not because I'm going to have my DS there. There's no way I'm doing it that week.
Josh will give you his PSP.
Oh, gosh, no.
You're like, no.
Actually, there's some fun stuff there, but I'm not doing that. I'll do it when I get back. I'll do it properly.
Plus, that's cheap.
That's cheap.
Because you're going to be most of the time, you're going to be...
Whatever. You guys are trying to welch out of it before you thought you were going to win.
I wasn't.
You were. Oh, it's not fair. Josh, it's not fair.
I was just going with whatever Josh does.
See, Josh is trying to welch out.
He wasn't trying to welch out. He had a point.
Well, if that's his point, but I'm not welching out.
Well.
Because I like knots.
It's over.
I know, they don't make it anymore.
Wait, what?
Like knots.
Knots?
Not Welch's, but they don't make knots anymore.
They don't?
No, it's bought by Smuckers.
What?
I know. You can't get knots anymore.
But they have a theme park.
I know, but it's now if you go
to
there's Smuckers there.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
I know.
Why did Smuckers bought knots, but I guess Cedar Fair owns the theme park.
Yeah, they just bought the
Cedar
jelly.
Fair
didn't, because
Cedar Fair didn't buy the jelly.
Right. They just bought the theme park and the buildings and.
But Mrs. Knott's restaurant is so good.
I know. Well, it's still good. It's just, and they still make
Man.
boysenberry.
Okay.
It's just not.
Now it's Smucker's boysenberry.
Smucker's.
They own boysenberry. Like they invented. That is a berry that they hybrid created genetically, whatever.
Yeah.
It's real good. Man, Mrs. Knott's chicken.
Oh.
I could eat that.
I'm hungry. I'm not even hungry, but now you're making me hungry.
That's why I always try and get Mike to do the pre-scare dinner, because it's like buffet.
Buffet chicken?
Yeah.
Oh.
Before haunt, but then I'm like, do I really want to do haunt like full of chicken?
Eating tons of greasy
I'm
chicken.
like, what if I threw like a monster scared? I'm like, that's happened. You know that's happened.
Oh, totally.
Because I was reading a Cracked article, and they said like, because they were about like it was like somebody that was a monster,
I saw that
and they were like, because first of all they're like, peeing in the pants happens all the time. It's the really, because they're like, oh, you probably get like no, peeing in the pants, that's like a nightly occurrence. It's pooping the pants.
That's how you know.
That's how you know it, because it happens, but that's like once a haunt season is the pooping of the pants. But I wonder about puking.
I don't know. We'll have to look into that. Maybe they need to do part 2 of the article. Especially if they're doing.
If I made somebody poop.
You couldn't pay me enough to do the monster thing though, because people are punching at you.
Because you know you get punched.
You're getting punched or pushed or something. No way.
Because I've seen dudes punching those guys just out of like sheer, like out of instinct.
Yeah, because that's a natural blow.
Yeah.
Slapped. Yeah, that's not for me.
I still think it might be fun. I did it. Because remember Jonathan. He put on a haunted house at Josh's house every year, and I got to be a monster in Jonathan's haunted house, and that was fun scaring people in there.
That's a little different scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was still fun scaring people. Because I was one where like it was fun. I was kind of the distractor, because I was like I would pop out, but then Jonathan was like a dummy on the ground, so like people would think I was gonna be the scare, so I would kind of scare him, but then if I didn't get him good enough, Jonathan would, because they just thought he was a dummy,
right?
And he would pop out, and then he would always get him. So he was like the cleanup guy.
That's cool. It's fun.
Because that's like the big thing now is in houses is like misdirection.
Right.
Universal is amazing at that because they have like their big giant set pieces. Whereas Knott's is not as much in that. They're getting better.
Right.
But, like, Universal, if there's something that's really cool, it's gotten to the point where, like, I'm like, okay, this cool thing is over here. That means, because it almost always means that a monster is going to come from somewhere else. Because they'll have some cool, crazy set piece. Like, I remember the specific one was the Evil Dead one. They just had all this cool stuff. You're like, whoa, it's cool. I'm in the cabin and all stuff. And while you're paying this and that, some crazy thing is going to jump out at you. Because it's all about the misdirection, because people have gotten pretty accustomed to, like, and, like, Universal's kind of evil, because there's, like, it's almost impossible to not get scared because there are no rules. Because, you know, like, on a Knott's, like, I know where they're usually coming from, and, like, they don't have again, in Universal, they have the crazy budget where there are dudes coming out of the floor, there's dudes coming out of, like, a panel will open up, and, like, just things like that. When that clown came out of the ceiling, though, on Magic Mountain, that was
the ultimate. That was still the ultimate.
They're not allowed to do that.
That was the most, like,
I did a Scooby. I jumped on your back. What if I had, like, broken your back?
I think I carried
you
out of
you
there.
were, like, in a wheelchair.
That's how I remember it.
What if I made you a paraplegic?
That would have been really bad. I'm pretty sure we went and ate afterwards, too, so it was very, very Scooby-Doo-like.
Yep. Well,
all right.
I guess that counts as our many adventures of Brendo and Phil.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So we've had a Brax comic every day, or every
been doing a great job
regular update day recently, so check out braxcomics.com.
And go to radiobrendo.com for everything. That's got all the links. That's how you contact us. You can hit the contact form. You can also email us, BrendoMan@gmail.com. We're at BrendoMan on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We've got everything Tumblr, all that stuff.
All of that stuff. Let us know what's going on. Make sure, let us know if you're interested in a shirt so we can kind of start gauging.
Yeah, either
That'd
you
be
want
cool.
another shirt or you missed out on the Kickstarter. This
or
is
you've
your
already worn
chance.
yours out. Apparently, a couple people have.
What are they doing with these shirts?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they were bad shirts. I don't know. Mine's still good, but
I still have my Audrey.
Maybe they were wearing them. I know.
I have my Uncle Brendo one.
Yeah, I have those too. But I don't know. Either way, we'll go a different way next time. We'll make it different. So let us know about that. And I feel like there was one other. I don't know. Let us know if you're going to be at any conventions or anything coming up, and we'll come hang out with you there too.
If it's in the area.
Well, if it's in the area. I mean, like the ones that we said we're going to.
Oh.
Because there's people around those.
There might have been some dude in a convention in Juneau, Alaska.
That's true. Well, I would love there. Fly us up there. We'll come to your convention.
Well, that's true. We'll come to your convention.
Yeah, I'll come to anywhere if you fly us out there.
Yeah.
Just to hang out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What if it's just some dude that's like, come, I'll fly you out to my, my compound.
We'll record at wherever you set us up.
That's kind of nuts.
What?
What if it's some dude that wants to eat us?
I highly doubt that. No cannibals. There you go. See? Problem solved.
No, yeah. Come out to my compound.
What could go wrong?
Here is a one-way ticket.
What could go wrong with the podcast?
I am not a cannibal.
Yeah. No walrus things or anything like that. I didn't even see it, but I don't want to be a part of that. But if you want us to normal come out and hang out, we'll do that.
Can we be professional hanger-outers?
Yeah, if people want to. Not that pay us, just fly us out there.
Yeah.
For now. Until we become in such high demand that
then we'll have appearance
us
fees.
Yeah. But for now, you can just fly us out.
We'll go appear for the Sultan of Brunei.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, if some Sultan wants to give us like $1 million to hang out at his palace.
Well, unless there's some kind of like national like issue. Like if North Korea wants to come out,
what if Kim Jong-un?
I think I would draw the line there.
I don't know, man. If Kim Jong-un called me.
Then like what if Obama says like we need you to go out there and spy on him? Would you do it? Why in the world is this scenario even possible?
I don't know if I would do it because I'd probably get killed.
Talked about it now, and so he knows about it. If he's listening to our show and wants us to come out there.
Well, I'm saying for the record, no.
Okay, so there you go. Wink, wink.
I wouldn't, but I would go hang out.
All right.
I would talk to Kim Jong-un.
What if though? I don't know. It's scary.
I don't know though. It'd probably be pretty scary.
We could hang out with Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. I told you at the time, I accidentally went into North Korea.
What?
Yeah.
Accidentally went? How?
We were in, I think it was Shenyang or somewhere. It's like right on the border. Okay. And we were going out and we were staying at a friend's house. And they were like, we thought they were joking. They're like, don't go into North Korea. And we're like, okay. And then we were walking around and we were just walking. And then there was some guys with guns that were like yelling at us, and we're like, oh, they're not speaking Chinese, and they were like looking around, we're like, I think because there's no border like in this place where this was.
All right.
And we seriously just like walked in on accident and got yelled at.
So I'm assuming you left.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
So I was in North Korea for like 30 seconds.
Wow, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Few Westerners will ever get to do that.
Yeah.
Wait, so is it bordered? Like you were in China on that side?
So in northeast China, it buns up to North Korea.
Huh. I have to look at my map.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't believe you. I just can't picture it right now.
I think it was Shenyang.
I can't picture where Korea is on the map right now.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it because now I gotta show you.
I believe you.
No, I'm doubting where I was. Map of China. See?
Oh yeah, I see.
So.
Oh yeah, so you're right there.
We were in. We were somewhere.
Somewhere in there.
Like Chang'an. Or maybe it was up here. I don't know, but we were like right here somewhere, and I walked over the border.
Either that or the locals there like to mess with Americans.
No, we were. It was definitely not China, because they were wearing. It was definitely they were yelling at us in Korean, because I knew what getting yelled at in Mandarin.
Well, that's what the locals wanted you to think.
It must have been like right here because we visited Jilin because that's where our friends were, and then we went down some more.
And that's Russia?
That's Russia.
So Russia touches North Korea too?
Yeah. So
wow, I need to look at maps more often.
So here I am in Harbin, and I was gonna take the train. You could take the train into Vladivostok.
Wow.
And I had a passport because I'd gotten the super passport because normally on a Chinese visa you can only leave and come back once. Oh. But I had gotten the super visa after I had lived there for long enough. They didn't think I was a threat.
Right.
And so I got one that had unlimited entries and exits. Huh. So I'm like, oh, cool, now I can go to Russia. Because it was like a 5-hour train ride from Harbin.
But you never did?
I didn't get to.
Man. You were so close to Russia.
So close.
I could see Russia.
I was also close to Inner Mongolia or whatever. Mongolia, right here.
Wow.
Now it's just us looking at the map.
Geography.
See, Inner Mongolia.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Wow.
But Harbin, that's where I was.
Crazy. I did not realize that Russia touched North Korea.
Yep. It's all right there. Well, now you can see why they were like a big, giant communist block, and that's why the whole the Korean War thing was, because for China backing up Korean War, they just went burp.
Right, and they had a war on two fronts.
Some Chinamen took it from me in Korea. All right. Well, on that note, we've quoted Lebowski, so I think
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I guess I watched that last week.
Lebowski.
Yeah.
Good one.
It's pretty great.
Deuterino.
Jeff Bridges is the man.
Yeah, he is.
He's the man for his place.
For his place in time.
All right. Now we're just quoting Lebowski. It's time to go to bed.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for everybody in the chat. And again, RadioBrendo.com for all your Radio Brendo needs. And we hope you have a good one. For Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. Almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And a lot to talk about.
Yeah. A lot of mail, a lot of stuff. Oh, I gotta stand up. Brrr. I know we're still on YouTube or whatever, but I still have to stand up.
Southeast Korea is a...
Brian left.
At one point, did your heart sink last night? When Daniel Bryan got eliminated, that was when my heart sank. Especially because it was just so... Like, it would have been a different thing if it had been some, like, really dramatic thing.
Right.
Or, like... And it wasn't at all. It was just like... He got eliminated, and then it was it. Because, like, they've done things where, like, fan favorites have gotten eliminated, but it's part of the drama of the Royal Rumble match.
Right.
Like, when Ric Flair won, like, Hulk Hogan got eliminated, like...
But they made a big deal.
And they made a big deal about it because Sid Justice, like, eliminated him, and it was a big thing, and it led to another match, and... Like, they would do things like that to build up other stories.
Right.
Like, Royal Rumble was key point in storylines, and now, like, they don't really do that anymore. A lot of the, like, it just seems kind of lazy. So that was kind of a bummer. But I still don't think it's as bad as everybody made it out to be.
Well, there are people on my Facebook feed that I had no idea ever watched wrestling.
So you're seeing who the wrestling.
Yeah, I'm like, oh. Well, it was funny because... Okay, so Sunday morning.
The Philly crowd. But the thing is, though, people are blaming the Philly crowd. The same thing happened in Pittsburgh the year before, and Pittsburgh's like a way more mellow crowd than Philly. I think it would have happened anywhere because you don't push somebody and they brought back Daniel Bryan. You don't do that because in the fans' eyes, Daniel Bryan is still the champion.
Right.
And then they bring him back and then they just do that.
He's just out.
And it was just the way it was done. I feel like if they, knowing what they going in, you already knew we're going with a hostile crowd that could turn anything. We know like what happened last year.
Right.
So you either, what I would have done if I was hell bent on pushing Roman Reigns, which Vince obviously is, then I wait until the week after to have Daniel Bryan return. Because if Daniel Bryan hadn't been returning at the Royal Rumble, I think it would have been fine.
Right. Because it wouldn't have been a thing. There wouldn't have been that for them to get upset about.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so you would have appreciated this. So, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And because it was last night.
Wait, so somebody at church talked about it?
No, the pastor, during his, thing, he had a story, and I don't honestly remember what tied together, but he was like, who here likes wrestling? And, a couple people were like, oh, okay, no one, okay. And he's like, he's not big into it, but he had a story about some wrestler and the story behind it. But he's like, and then, he went and faced against John Cena. And, 15 people in the crowd were like, it's Cena! Obviously they were not owning up to the fact there, but then as soon as he said it wrong, everyone's like, oh, so a bunch of liars out there. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. And then, he was telling the story of whatever it was, and this one kid, finally spoke up, and he was, correcting him in all his facts. He was like, no, it happened like this. So, anyway. I thought that was pretty good.
The thing that sucks is it's not even Roman Reigns' fault. He's just doing what he's been told to do, and, he deserves what he's getting. Just, again, I feel like it's a case of too much too soon, but that's not his call.
Right.
And, he's been given the ball, but, he was set up to fail, and that's not fair to him, because when you put The Rock out there and he gets booed, that's, and the look on The Rock's face when he got out there and they start booing is it's priceless. It's, you should, if you want to watch, if you watch some clips, you should watch. It's because when he realizes this is not happening, I'm not gonna turn this crowd around, they
didn't smell what he was cooking.
They did not smell what he was cooking. So yeah, that awkward moment when The Rock realized they're not buying it. Because, Philly, they were chanting bullshit, audibly loud. That's not the way you want to end a pay-per-view.
No.
So,
very bad.
I don't know if Philly's going to get a major event anytime soon, but but the problem is, how many towns do you have to go to get booed out of the building before you realize maybe it's something I am doing.
Right.
But knowing the way Vince McMahon thinks, he's gonna blame it on
the town.
Yeah. Well, on Raw they replayed the Triple Threat match and the Royal Rumble match. They didn't replay the whole thing.
Huh.
Just on Monday Night Raw they played those two matches, and then they had some pre-taped. Well, they had people in the studio.
Right.
Because I guess from Connecticut they can drive there.
Right. I wonder if you should look real quick. Just look at Matt Zappa's page. See if he's still in
See what's going on Matt Zappa. See if he's okay.
Not bad. I was joking. I'm you might have to come to camp in a tent in the orchard. You might actually need that. Oh, there you go.
That was 15 hours ago.
Did you say anything? Any updates?
No. Oh.
No, I guess not. Doesn't look like he made it. Unless he just didn't post about it yet.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, guy.
Some good pictures.
Yeah. You saw the one stuff I posted on ours, right? Just a couple.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Became friends with Phil Vecchio.
Yeah. He added me after I did that. And then Rob from the Spivvies like Radio BrendoMan after Friday. It was a good weekend for that.
Oh, did you see that? I seen these at Comic-Con, but like
I think
they're
Mario
so
posted, he posted
expensive.
it on my wall too.
I
Yeah,
really
it's
want
like
it.
$80.
But they're awesome. I would want one of me as a
It's super
Ghostbuster.
cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Did you do like a test one?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. But I don't think I'm going to be spending that.
Well, I mean, Bubba Ray Dudley got a huge pop, and I think it was pretty. I mean, that's one of the things why they brought him in. That Philly crowd was excited for Bubba. So like they always do like some random like surprise entries,
Right.
and one of them was Bubba Ray Dudley, who started in ECW and then was in WWF, but he hadn't been in WWF for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And he came back, and he got a huge. But this was before all the crap happened, because again, some of the big guys you would expect to get a huge cheer like got booed because people were just booing everything.
Done.
But they should have if they knew. I feel like if they knew Brian was going to get eliminated, they should have done it differently. Because how did they not know that was coming? That's the thing that everybody's kind of going crazy about.
Yeah.
Is like, because this is exactly what happened last year.
Same kind of scenario.
And the ending was really cheesy. The whole thing was cheesy. It was just unfortunate. People are going crazy, and I think it's a little bit crazy, the extremes that they're going to. Oh, look at Mark showing off his
Got some vinyl there.
vinyls.
Is he the one that bought that stuff, maybe? What is
Oh no, he got
That's
a Mondo. That's a Mondo.
Oh my
These
God.
are the Mondo vinyls. It's a Tyler Stout Guardians of the Galaxy and like green, freaking. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Green.
And then
Did you say green?
It looks green.
That's purple.
Not green.
It's purple.
Okay. See, colorblind dude.
No.
And then you get these cool little
That's really
prints.
cool.
The Tyler Stout prints. Oh, that's sick.
That's really awesome.
I'm jealous.
All right, I go to bed.
Hold on. I'm not gonna buy it, but I want to see if they still have it. I don't think they do. Well, did you see this? $300
Oh my gosh.
for that
Awesome.
Iron Giant figure. But then they have this Iron Giant LP.
Huh.
See how Mondo's doing these records? Look at these
Dude.
metal variant.
How much is the metal one?
$150.
Oh, it's still really cool though.
Yeah. Hold
So
on.
these are music.
Nice.
Up the
Music.
top there, yeah.
Because some of them. So they have like these Assault on Precinct 13. Their vinyls are like
They
amazing.
look really cool.
Look at that.
Batman. That's sweet.
The die cut one. Assault on Precinct 13. So they got all these awesome. Yeah, they're. I think
Wow.
the Guardians is gone. Look at the Paranorman, the Looper one. Have you seen Looper?
No.
Oh. Look at the Pet Cemetery. Room 237. Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, look at this.
That's cool.
And it's like electro because of Shaun. And then this is the variant.
That's cool.
And that's the inside. It's pretty sick.
Which ones of the 7 inches did you get?
I got the Mr. Freeze and Joker.
Right. Those are really cool.
They didn't have the Man Bats, and those are the ones that were. Those ones were also die cut,
Right.
but they didn't have them there. But all right. Oh, David Serenga had a baby.
Sweet.
All right,
Facebook feed.
Facebook. All right, well, Justin Gabriel's gone. Super disappointed.
Oh,
Yes.
Steve Espinosa joined. Wait, what just happened?
He's in there twice. It's weird. Yeah, Gabriel's gone. Maybe he'll show up in Ring of Honor. And Benson and I are going to the Ring of Honor show WrestleMania weekend. Maybe we'll get to see him there.
That'd be cool.
So I think he'll do really good in the Indies. they were not. He's this really awesome high flyer from South Africa. His finishing move is a 450 splash.
What's that?
I want to show you.
All right, then I gotta go to bed.
Okay, I'll just show you his finisher because it's awesome. This is Justin Gabriel. That's what he does.
Huh.
Look at it. That's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
I haven't listened to Matt Seidel on Art of Wrestling yet. Definitely on my list. I'm excited to see him because we're going to some Evolve shows and Ring of Honor at WrestleMania weekend, and also El Patron, Alberto Del Rio, is going to be there.
Ooh,
Botched that one. Yeah, some of them, because it's just crazy when you do these kind of things. Because if you really mess up, you die.
Yeah.
So I'll just one more thing, please.
Oh, man,
I gotta show you.
Clips on YouTube.
I gotta show you this.
You're showing me clips on YouTube while we're streaming to YouTube.
I have to show you this because this is the most horrific thing. It's Brock Lesnar, 300 pounds. Watch what he does. Okay, when that happened, I seriously thought he was dead.
Oh my gosh.
So he's like knocked out. He managed to have the wherewithal to finish that match.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that could happen when you do this stuff.
Oh, he snapped his neck.
I think that was supposed to be the pin right there. I think because Angle does a false finish there. I think Lesnar was supposed to pin him off the shooting star. So that's a shooting star press, which is the most dangerous because you do a front flip.
Yeah.
And
so wait, was he supposed to win then and he didn't?
No, he did win because Angle went for a false pin just to give him some time.
Okay.
And so he did, but he somehow
though he had just
he landed on his freaking you saw that.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I've seen guys in indies you've seen guys double two
flips.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then in the indies you see some crazy stuff that you can't even describe because they're basically doing whatever. Yeah. So they do some crazy stuff in the indies.
Wow.
Because this is the kind of stuff where nowadays if a lot of these moves now are outlawed. I don't even think people do shooting stars anymore.
Huh.
But only certain people you have to get your moves approved because again they're really careful about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, look at that.
So yeah.
Has anyone ever died in the ring?
There were some guys in the heart attacks that some old school there was some dudes that died of heart attacks in the ring.
Okay.
And then Mitsuhiro Misawa died of injuries sustained in the ring, but he didn't die in the ring. But yeah, Ted DiBiase's dad, $1 Million Man, his dad died in the ring of a heart attack.
Okay.
And then one of the Moondogs, the Moondog guy that was super fat and just was shouldn't have been wrestling.
Also?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no one's died
no.
of an injury that.
But there was one. There were two. One of the guys that did a heart attack. It was the guy who was wrestling. It was Ox Baker, and his finishing move was the heart punch. And so they made it he killed him with his heart punch, and they used it to build his character.
Right. The heart punch.
Yeah, because he would punch him in the heart, and it's really dumb.
What about King Hippo? Oh no, that's boxing. Never mind.
But yeah.
That's funny.
All right.
All right. You should turn off the stream.
All right. Well, have a good night, everybody. I guess it's just Steven, but see you later, Steve.
Adios.
Oh, stop the broadcast.
Stop the broadcast.
Later, YouTube.